Hail and well met. Welcome to our first video streaming exclusively on YouTube for the moment with the Dungeon Scrawlers, bringing to you the Westgate Irregulars campaign. I am Eric Scott DeBee, the DM of this game. And
An epic adventure, including Farida and Havilar from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. And if you plug in the code down there, you will get a gold chest code of your very own. Perfect for the upcoming Founders Day event that I think is just starting. So let us know if you get anything cool.
I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy under that name, and then space opera under RZ Held. And normally I'd be saying, oh, we have a widget. You can see all our books because we're authors. That's on the Twitch, but we are not on the Twitch. So instead, I suggest you go to dungeonscrawlers.com, and you can find out all about our different books and where to find them.
Hi, I'm Yang Wang. I am a writer and a filmmaker.
Hi, I'm Emily Tang. I'm a writer and game designer at Wizards of the Coast. Disclaimer, all thoughts and opinions expressed in the stream are my own and do not represent Wizards of the Coast.
Hi, I'm Stephen Merlino, fantasy author and teacher.
Hi, I'm Randy, professional Marmite taster.
Ooh. What does Marmite taste like?
Oh,
People are really torn on that, 50-50, I think.
it's like bouillon.
make a wisdom save as well. So, and we are the Dungeon Scrawlers, and we are here to bring you the latest episode of our campaign. And when we last left things, they were on a significant cliffhanger, which I think Randy's going to tell us about in Rogar's recap.
Right, this will be a short one. All right, so previously on Dungeon Scrawlers. Well, in short, Artemisia and Cecilia discovered that Jigglewolf is actually their elven half-brother Ruin, who was under a curse, and he knows Sershin, who's this elf wolf knight guy sent by Cecilia's patron to be her counterpart, but is not the person Sershin was sent to hunt. So well, that's still a mystery. And Rogar attempted to contact his goddess with Shay's help, but encountered what might have been an actual bogglewomp, though it seems to be connected to him somehow. Don't know what that's about. Anyway, the Westgate Irregulars then learned from Shadowbane that Mirren, a good friend and magic user of the party, was under attack. So we all rushed to her tower to help her. And Mirren's important, not just because she's our friend, of course, but she recently, when we were being attacked by the Twilight Knight, we sort of sequestered Stong's adopted daughter, Mirabelle, and a number of the party's friends in Artemisia's house, and then Mirren made the house disappear. And it was just supposed to be hidden, but she accidentally somehow sent it to another plane. And then,
Magic, what can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do? So we all rushed to Mirren's tower to help. And now I just want to ask the party now, have you, of course, heard of Tiamat's epic battle with Bernard the Brave? Have you heard of that one?
No.
No.
I haven't heard you tell it.
Vecna's near death at the hands of Chester the Chaste. Have you heard that one?
Oh.
No.
Have you heard of Count Strahd's humiliating defeat by Errol the Eagle-Nippled?
Definitely not.
Cannot say I have.
Remember that.
I would love to
So
watch the
weird.
movie.
Well, did you hear of the Westgate Irregulars' stunning victory over the Night King?
No, didn't hear that one either.
No, of course you did not, because he's way too powerful for us. So we're rushing to Mirren's tower, and you know, she's being attacked by these wizards, and there's this guy just standing up all arrogant on the railing, right? So do we take out the wizards and help? No. We're like, oh, that guy looks tough. Let's take him on. So we start fighting this guy, and he starts kicking our butt. But thankfully, at the end, Mirren saved us all. She cast a last-minute desperate spell of some kind that swept over us and transported us to some other plane. It seems we don't know yet. So that's where we left off, and we'll just get right into it. Back to you, omniscient narrator God.
Yes. In matter of fact, that was a plane shift spell that she cast, which doesn't appear to have caught her as well. Just caught the six of you and perhaps one other person. But before we get back into the action, there was a question that was asked in the last game, which was, where was Ilra this whole time? She ran off from the Purple Lady on a quick and driven course to go and help Mirren at the tower, but she didn't intervene during that battle. So
is this going to be a vinaigrette?
I wanted to give you a brief story vinaigrette wherein some of that is revealed. So, first of all, though, I have to look up a mechanical effect. Okay, blindness, deafness only lasts for 1 minute. That's good to know. All right. So, when hearing finally comes back to Shay Darkdance, no, not Darkdance. That's not her name. When hearing finally comes back to Shay, who is Ilra's right-hand woman, she realizes that the Irregulars have gone, and Ilra has also gone. And she says, oh no, I need to catch up with her. I need help. And so she runs out into the driving rain of the Westgate night, because it started raining as soon as you got to the gate. She arrives in time to see you go into the burning yard and uses her shadow dancing ability to get inside the compound since the wards are down, where she finds herself in this darkened room full of screams and the clash of steel echoing through the halls. And she's looking around. She pulls out her sword, glinting with silvery light, and it reveals a dark-clad form of Lady Ilra kneeling in the middle of the room like this, with her hands over her face. And Shay's taken aback for a moment because she's never seen something like this before. And she says, Ilra, are you? And that is when a night mask comes slinking out of the shadows with a blade ready to stab Ilra. And Shay throws herself into action, leaps, bounces off the wall, and slashes through the night mask, putting him down. He collapses to the ground. She's standing there over Ilra, who has not reacted in any way. And she says, what happened? And Ilra is just holding her face in her hands and saying, no, it can't be. It's not possible. Meanwhile, on a distant plane.
I'm sure glad we don't know about that, because I would think we're boned right now. Like,
Six of you awaken to the sensation of floating weightlessly as if in salt water. Your eyes, when you open your eyes, you see only brightness and light all around you, and it's a little bit blinding. Like, it's as though you woke up staring at the sun. And when your eyes adjust, you see that you are floating in a vast silvery white sea. You look for the horizon to try and get your bearings, but there isn't really one. There are strands of gray and silver coming down like lightning bolts that are moving very slowly.
Cool.
Striking the vast sea that expands out around you. And only when they strike can you see that there's a line separating your plane from above. So there is a horizon, but it's very faint and hard to tell. You see your companions are all floating around you as well. And one black-clad wizard who looks to have been both scalded by sickening radiance and blasted by lightning and hit by a hammer.
Oh, that poor guy.
And an arrow, I think. No, never mind.
Just see it into the future with your divination powers.
And he goes, what? Where? And he looks over at you, the six of you, and goes, he starts casting a spell. Caliph, roll your initiative. Well, everybody roll initiative.
Did not mean to start that.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, 20, natural 20.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh, D&D
Aw,
Beyond.
man.
Start me off with a nice low roll again. 11. Ooh,
6.
Not that low.
What did you get, Emily?
19.
19. Okay. Yeah, you get off your spell before his spell, and he just kind of and is frozen in place by your whole person.
Nice.
All right, now what do we do with him?
Time up.
Yeah.
Make him get us out of here?
Time
Only
up.
his eyes move, and he looks around at each of you.
So did we see that it was who did the planar shift?
You have vague memories of what happened, but you think it was Mirren casting some kind of spell that went wild. And maybe it wasn't intended to do this, but it like ripped a hole in reality and sent you through.
I know for 2 on this right now.
So can you describe again the floatingness part?
Yes, your body is near weightless. You are you have a feeling of buoyancy as though you are floating in a salt water tub or ocean, as it were.
And this horizon is caused by what?
Well, the horizon is actually caused by your perspective. I like how you worded that question.
Yeah.
Because that's the answer.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense to you necessarily. You find
Magnets, how do they
yourselves
work?
floating in the astral sea, a plane of pure thought.
So Stong is just on death's door. He is incredibly injured. He's not moving very much, and there are many wounds that are leaking blood. So what does his blood do in this?
Okay, so
Does the blood
when
float?
the
Does it
blood
float
leaks
out?
out of you, and it does indeed float. It kind of diffuses through the sea, but slowly, like in water.
I'm close enough.
Not quite exactly, but that's the closest analogy your brain can draw.
I get a healing potion out.
I was going to say, I'm right next to him. I will give him a healing potion. But I'm not going to fight you if you also want to give
No, it's okay. I'm not sure if I'm not as close, and if I throw it, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
You would have to throw it.
It throws you backwards.
Yeah. You would have to throw it like into his mouth though, because he's just like so weak right now.
Like I assume we're all basically in position where we were when we were fighting, and the Night King.
Celia, you can reach out and grab him if you want to.
Yeah, I'm going to grab Stong, and then I'm going to give him a healing potion.
Like it's not obvious how to move. You can move your arm because it has leverage from the rest of your body. But
I feel like my instinct is going to be to grab onto him and pull, which might pull me closer, or might pull him closer, or I might do something else. But instinctively, I'm going to try to pull him.
It kind of
toward
does
me.
both of those things.
Okay.
Kind of
Important.
closer together.
Important.
You kind of smash into him.
I have...
Not too hard. I mean, you're not that strong, really.
I still
right?
have my armor of Agathis on, so I'm going to try very hard to slow down and not actually hit him.
Yeah.
Any kind of like force.
Thanks for no frost damage.
Actually, you know what? At this point, he looks bad enough. I'm going to turn it off before I do that.
Okay.
Because I just don't want to kill him.
Appreciate it.
And Caliph has the only like obvious threat under control right now. All we have to do is kill an hour, and then I'll get my spells back. It'll be good.
So how much healing does that do?
Whatever an hour is here.
Oh, I mean the healing potion.
It's just a standard healing potion, so I think it's 2d4.
It's 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Armor
I
of
have
Agathis doesn't actually hurt somebody unless they do a melee attack on you.
Oh, okay. So me crashing into him is me. It's technically me attacking him.
It's unpleasant. It's unpleasantly cold, but it doesn't actually hurt him.
I think I feel like I'm going to regret taking it off, but I feel like I might.
Rogar's going to go
also,
like this.
Cecilia, for the record, is like feeling extra. This floating stuff is making her madder because she feels stupid. Like she feels really dumb floating around while being really angry. It's exacerbating some stuff.
So I'm going to roll
looking like a
die.
snowman while floating and angry would just be worse.
So in point of fact, you kind of smash into Stong, and you're kind of like, it's like you collapsed together on the floor, and you're trying to give him this potion, and the rest of you, as you're floating there, you see Cecilia and Stong suddenly just zip away from you.
That's not
Okay.
good.
Like,
Yeah.
not in a straight line, but they spiral away
Oh
Hmm.
no.
like a bee.
Can we
Perhaps.
still, is it visually clear or is it foggy so they're starting to disappear?
It is a little bit misty as one gets farther away. So they are starting to fade from view.
Trying to swim. I was
Yeah.
trying to
Oh, yeah,
swim
you're
towards Rogar because I was
focused.
going to try and heal him.
Try and
Like,
stop
Okay,
this.
I'm all
nothing
like-
happens.
Uh,
Cecilia,
Really want to stop?
you aren't
Pull
even
back on it.
aware of moving.
Oh, that's fun.
You're just preoccupied with trying to get that potion inside Stong.
Got it.
Sturge is going to do that thing where you try to, if you're in the water and you push down and you frog kick, you can kind of buoy up for a minute and get a look around.
Are we close enough to lightning lure from either Caliph or
I
Artemisia?
love it.
No lightning lure Stong though.
No,
Yes.
no, lightning
I
Stop.
don't
lure.
think Artemisia would lightning lure him.
You could get Artemisia, Rogar, or Sturge.
No, it'd be
Could
lightning
not
lure
get Stong or
onto-
Cecilia. They're too
Oh.
far away.
It's just
I
like
think we
lightning
need,
lure
like-
on Cecilia because she's holding onto the song.
Yeah, but they're too far away. They're out of
think we're-
range.
After this, we need to discuss like whether there's a spell that's just lure without the lightning,
Someone
or if we can
learn it.
all hold like lightning rods in
like,
anticipation. Because
Yeah. How do we stop hurting
Yeah,
each other? I
like-
don't know.
What kind
Right.
of adventurers are we? Where's our rope? Our 50
Sturge.
Kelvin rope?
I'm going to need you to make an intelligence check, please.
Oh.
Okay. 13.
Sure, we
13.
have rope.
Okay, you're thinking about it and trying to figure out different ways to move. And you find yourself moving as you want to move.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going up.
Yep.
And I haven't done my hand motion yet. I was just thinking about it.
You were just thinking about it and you started moving upward.
Okay. So Sturge is going to put his hands together like this. And then he's going to draw his legs up under him like a kimbo. And he's going to look over at Stong and Cecilia and imagine himself pushing toward them
Okay,
sideways.
so Sturge starts
Why not? Why not?
toward Cecilia and Stong, who are still darting around crazily,
Hmm.
buffeted about on the winds of strong emotion.
Gonna say I'm not thinking about moving
no.
like a bumblebee. So
Exactly.
it must be Stong.
It's just happening.
Can't control these thoughts.
Okay. Well, eventually Sturge will get his rope off of his pack,
Mhm.
and can he swing it around? Does it operate like?
Lasso.
It does because you get the sense that it does because you think it's supposed to.
What if I just
Oh,
go
interesting.
and I send it? Oh, I can use my mage hand to do it
You-
for the
you
first
can.
30 feet, and I'm just going to get 30 feet away from them and send a rope over to them and say, "I'm not getting any closer. Y'all are moving around like I don't know what."
So let's get an analogy here. So if this is Stong and this is Cecilia, they're smashed together, and they're
Why am I the D6? No, I'm kidding. I'm
your
sorry.
hit dice are d6s, right? Or are you d8s? I don't know. Anyway,
It
you're
doesn't matter. I'm
you're
just
smaller
teasing.
than Stong. So you're zipping around, and here comes Pointy Nose Sturge.
Oh my God, that's
Slowly
how
but
they're moving
surely.
around. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to get that close to him.
And you just need to get within 30 feet, and then you can have your mage hand deliver them a rope.
Mhm.
Stong, you see Sturge's mage hand bringing a rope.
And now Sturge is back. As soon as he gets a hold of it, I'm going to back up to the full 50 feet away because I don't want to get jerked around.
Cecilia, you would manage to give Stong this potion.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you roll how much it does? Because I didn't.
I did.
Right,
It gave
good.
me
Did you roll?
4.
Oh.
Oh, I did not. Double 1.
I have another one. But I think it's better to go
You can save it. We could.
find Rogar, probably.
Yeah.
Do I realize now that we're bouncing around like a bumblebee caught in a window?
Well, from your perspective, everyone else is bouncing around.
Oh my god.
All right,
Even thinking about this is making me a little queasy.
Sturge is going to say, stop thinking about moving in different directions. That's how we move here.
I'm not thinking about moving. What are you talking about? You're the one moving around.
No. I am a rock.
Your rope goes spiraling out as they go flying away from you.
So
Still on
suddenly
this
we stop.
stupid plane.
We stop zigzagging, and Stong will weakly say, "Sorry."
What the
me.
hell were you thinking about? Anyway, don't answer that.
I thought we were still fighting the vampires.
Oh, yeah, we're safe apparently from that. Can you think about coming to me for a big family embrace?
Okay. Stong
I don't know
opens
how
his
possible.
arms towards like Sturge and thinks about
It's gonna
going to
hang
Sturge.
on.
You start moving yourself towards Sturge.
Come to Sturgy.
Slowly at
Okay.
first, but then picking up speed.
You're basically my life raft in the
Wow.
Astral Sea.
So
If they're gonna torpedo me, I'm going to akimbo, just move straight up so they don't hit me.
okay.
You were
There's
going
a
for
little-
the hug, though.
Yeah, you asked
A
me
little
for a hug
playing
there.
around, a little experimentation, and you realize that you can move yourself just by thinking.
Cool.
Hmm.
Okay.
If you if you were standing on a solid surface, you could move normally, but in this place you can just move with pure thought, and your movement speed when you do that is your intelligence modifier times 3.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ooh, okay.
Your
So
modifier times 3?
Correct.
Oh, modifier.
Oh no, your
No.
intelligence
Oh.
score times
I was
3.
like,
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's pretty slow. They really want you to
Dang.
slow down
not
here.
your modifier.
to think about the
Intelligence score.
present.
Thank you for that
Peaceful.
clarification.
I mean, as far as I know, that's perfectly reasonable. I've never been to the Astral Sea.
Does
Um,
that put anyone to 35 or higher?
No.
Yeah, I think
Okay. Well, yeah,
36.
I'm
yeah.
sure Kalith is pretty fast.
Oh, yeah, sure.
In the Astral Sea.
oh, it's also
And,
smart.
Okay, cool. So basically, if your intelligence is 10, you have a normal 30-foot movement. If your intelligence is 8, you have basically 25-foot movement. If your intelligence is 15, you move 45 feet, which is pretty great. If it's 18, then you're moving like 60, no, like 50 some odd. It's a lot.
Sprinter.
You're very fast. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, does
We're
it
not
count
the
as a
math
race?
stream.
Right. We're not the mass stream.
Even on
So-
YouTube.
Yeah, not
Even on
yeah,
YouTube.
even on YouTube. So Stong will definitely chase down Sturge and give him that hug that he was promised.
Mm.
Oh.
You two meet and embrace.
Right.
And we spin around
Sturge,
in
you take
circles.
1 point of non-lethal damage.
Yeah, because you get an orc hug. Half orc hug.
Ah!
I'm
You can tell
how-
it's a half orc hug because it's non-lethal damage.
What are we gonna do with this wizard guy? Can he open the door back up? Can we get out of here?
The wizard is floating like
Is Rogar back with us? Because he was swimming off last time, wasn't he? After you guys?
he was swimming, but he wasn't actually moving.
Oh,
I'm gonna go over there and
Well, everyone has figured out how to move,
Okay.
is what I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
figured we've come back
Yeah.
together, and now we're gonna deal with what the heck do we do with this wizard who's
Mhm.
So first, let's
Floating.
all stand in a circle and put him in the center, just slightly lower than us, so we can stare menacingly at him.
I also want to
Right.
point out, I think that we might notice at some point that the hold person spell has not worn off. It's only supposed to last 1 minute.
Right.
still
Hmm.
going.
Oh, interesting.
Did you
What the
like
heck?
get some new spells or something?
So you've experimented and figured out how to move, and you realize that the wizard that you were thinking of is not where you expected him to be.
the hell.
And you look around and you see him just floating away from you.
I'm getting him. I'm catching him.
Well, but
You're
what are we
right.
going to do
How
with
far
him?
away? Well, I mean, like he's useful if he can open the door back up, and if not, let's
guess.
just blast him.
He's
No,
about
he
100 feet
No.
away from you at this point.
No killing anybody in cold blood.
I'm gonna go
I
get
don't
him.
think this is cold blood. I think this is just finishing the hot-blooded part that we had a minute ago.
I mean,
His
I could calm
intelligence
his
score.
emotions, and
His intelligence score is 17. So
Ah,
I don't
wow.
think Sturge is fast enough to catch him.
18.
Caleb is,
Zip him.
however.
nice.
Yeah, get him.
I mean, the main thing is, can he open this stupid box back up? Where are we?
Hey, Sturge, can I borrow your rope?
Yes, here.
All right. Caleb is going to borrow Sturge's rope and go chase after him.
And
she's
Sturge is going to follow
She's
just in
gonna,
case.
she's gonna yell while she's chasing after him. We don't want to kill you yet. We want you to get us out of here, and we won't kill you. Maybe.
Important question. When Caleb is flying through the astral plane, do her wings move or not? Think about your internal thoughts and vision of yourself.
They probably move. They probably flap every now and then, like she vaguely, like she sometimes remembers, like, oh yeah, I can fly. It's been a while. She
Okay.
doesn't always remember.
So eventually you come within lasso range of the wizard. You're going to try and lasso him with the rope? So he's like 50 feet away. If you have another whole person spell, you could cast that on him again, since it's a range of 60. But if you want to lasso him with the rope, you know, that's fine.
You want to lasso him?
Okay. I'm going to need you to make a dexterity-based attack, please.
20. Dirty 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Get him.
Okay, the rope wraps around him.
All right. Turn around and start towing him back.
He's,
Guys, look what I cut.
Dazed.
Sturge is going to help pull him back.
okay, they're about 200 feet away.
He's been
Please.
following, so he's not.
Okay.
You know, he's like 20 feet behind.
While everyone's distracted by the wizard, Rogar's gonna try a somersault.
Mhm.
And then he's gonna try
You know what?
a pirouette.
I'm going to sleep that guy.
Well, he's
Triple
casting a spell of his own. I know I had you all roll initiative, and then I didn't actually take note of it. So sorry.
So maybe we need to
Alright.
do it over because I definitely rolled amazing.
Well,
I remember.
I do
my
remember
action.
what he rolled, and it was really low. So did anybody not get under a 4?
Wait, did we get
Did
over
Did
a
everybody
four?
get over a 4?
Yes.
No.
I got
rolled a
over a
1.
4.
So
wow.
that's why I want to re-roll
So Sturge
in
could
case anybody missed that.
Okay.
Sturge could beat
I
him
rolled a
then.
20.
But-
I'll give you half of my 20 and we'll
Oh,
both be 10s.
thank you.
All right. Well, Caleb, now that you have
You
been
grab my
bound in
arm and
this
you're like,
rope,
this way.
he's starting to cast a spell.
So can I beat him to the punch? He's in range.
Yeah.
Okay, sleep. I know he's beat to crap, so he probably doesn't have that many hit points.
He is beat to crap. He just falls asleep.
Okay, sweet.
See,
Okay,
no need to kill him.
Okay, now we have a sleeping wizard. How is this better?
search him, loot him.
Of course.
Take all of his spell components.
Well, yeah.
Classic Sturge.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want him to use items of potency on us.
That's true.
Okay. Well, you bring the bound wizard back into your little group. He has a dagger,
Hmm.
and he has 2 scrolls,
Hmm.
spell scrolls,
Interesting.
We check him?
and a night mask.
Oh my god. Can
We
Because
should just like
he's a
throw
night
that
mask
into
wizard.
the water and let it
Yeah,
go.
I'm gonna chuck the night mask. I'm gonna just throw it out into the astral nothingness.
Can you
Because
wither away?
that's because apparently I'm not allowed to kill him.
If we
Oh.
imagine
Not
ourselves
as satisfying as it should be.
crumbling it in our hands, does that happen?
It's too late, it's floating.
Oh, okay. I want to feel
Well, you
sad
can
for
still
once.
imagine
Yeah.
it. Nothing happens.
What are these scrolls? Is one of the scrolls plane shift?
That'd be awesome.
Well, wouldn't that be convenient? Totally
Yeah.
undermine my
Right?
entire plan. No.
I hope one is wish.
One of the scrolls is detect magic, and one of the scrolls is hold
Slash in the face.
monster.
Ooh, that's useful.
Yeah.
Anybody
Don't
want
know
this,
what
the
monsters
hold
are in here.
monster? I mean,
How's that different from hold person?
You
Because
can't
it can
hold
affect
Yeah.
things other than just humanoids.
a
Mhm.
giant, astral squid shows up.
I think the term you're looking for is astral dreadnoughts.
Cecilia does not know what that is. So.
Correct. So as you're floating there and dividing up the gear,
Trying to poke holes in these stupid clouds, finding a door.
you see a dark point on the horizon.
Good.
hey, dark point.
I mean, it's a thing. There's nothing
Yeah.
else
It's a
here.
thing.
Does it seem
Maybe
to
we
be
should
moving?
go there.
That's my vote.
Does the dark thing seem to be moving?
Make a perception check.
Perception.
15.
11.
Hey, with your 15, Cecilia, you're watching it for a moment, and you think that it is growing slightly larger.
Ugh.
Hmm.
We are gonna have company.
Should we spread out?
Are we allowed to kill these ones?
We throw the wizard at them as to distract them.
Throw the
You know,
wizard.
there we go.
Stong uses them as a weapon again.
I
Could,
mean,
yeah.
I think we can leave the wizard to like fend for himself.
Yes,
Oh.
In
leave
his
him to
sleep.
his own fate.
I don't know.
I'm not comfortable with
I'm not either.
Enjoy where Marty's just drawing these moral lines. Don't
Maybe we
kill
should-
him, but
we
let's
could
leave
knock
him
him out.
floating asleep in a strange plane while something is approaching.
Well, we're gonna
Let's
deal with
knock
the
him out.
something.
We'll knock out the wizard.
He's already
Yeah.
He is
asleep.
knocked out.
No,
He's
he's
asleep.
not going to stay sleeping though.
How
He
long
didn't
does
So
it
you
last?
want to put him at 0 hit points but stable.
Right.
Okay. You shake him awake. He goes, what? And you,
Hermes is
you
not gonna
reduce him to
watch.
0 hit points.
We're
Okay.
heroes. We're heroes.
Hero.
Her
I don't even understand anything. that's
moral
going on
lines
here
are very
anymore.
strange, but she has them.
Okay.
All right. Tie
The
rope
wizard is
around
now
his foot.
unconscious.
Tie rope around his foot so we can tow him along if we want,
Okay.
or spin him
Do
around
you-
like a.
Is he still bound?
It would be good to have his.
Like, do you hog tie him and then just pull the rope along?
Just
That
cut
would
all
be
his
good.
fingers off, then he can't do any kind
Oh my
of
God.
somatic component.
tongue.
Whoa.
no.
Thank you, Rogar.
if he's really a wizard, though, we should at least take his spell
One
book.
hand to each
Does he? Did he have a
Ooh,
spell book?
No.
Ah.
Oh. Would have pulled them
You'd
along
be
like
a pretty-
float, like a parade float.
You'd be a pretty poor assassin mage if you brought your spell book to all of your hits.
Well, I mean, he walked into two, area effects. He might be like that.
First day on the
Okay,
job.
He
okay,
floated
first
in.
day.
I'm
Two
sorry.
things. One, he flew into those effects. And two, they weren't there when he started the move. So it's not
Okay.
entirely his fault. I want you to take some credit for you blasting him.
So, Caleb, what were
as-
you saying?
No.
Caleb?
What,
Oh, what were
Caleb
you
saying
saying?
something? No, I wasn't saying.
Oh, okay.
Okay. As you're
Is
floating,
is the
looking
dot
at the
closer?
darkness.
Yeah.
Oh no,
it
wait,
is,
I
it
was.
is coming closer.
Is it still a dot, or is it taking some sort of shape?
we're
I would
thinking-
suggest we spread out so that any area of effect spells do not take us all in one go.
You
I'm going to
feel-
spread away from
That's
everyone.
smart.
You feel a sensation kind of like wind rising around you.
Mhm.
But it's mostly in your own head. You're feeling like
I don't
Oh.
like it.
tingles in your head that spread to your body.
Is it a good tingle? Is it pleasant?
This is a spicy game.
Spicy
Sounds
tingle?
so
Oh, man.
upsetting. Like you
Yeah.
feel like there's wind, but there's no wind.
Yeah.
Like, am I having a stroke right now?
Chin.
There is a kind of wind.
Song.
Oh my goodness, don't look at me. Wasn't me, guys.
Okay.
Okay, so I just want to say that like Artemisia, her floating is like if you imagine sort of the like 1930s movie where somebody's flying and they've got like the harness, but like whoever's flying, like not a hair out of place, perfectly permed hair, like the hands to like sort of do this operatic kind of like I'm flying, and that's how my hands would obviously be. like she's not doing the hands, but she's got like, 1 foot slightly higher and she's floating there. She's super beautiful until the wind thing happens.
I don't want to say Mary Poppins, but that was what popped into my head.
No. Wrong aesthetic.
Okay,
The hat,
okay.
no.
We're good. Right. Okay. Yes, this wind starts filling you, and it seems like your minds are suddenly filled with this jumble of thoughts, random words and images and colors and sights and sounds, and all around you, those thoughts take physical form, and they're pushing you, buffeting you all about. And the world goes gray for a moment. Yes, well, it's mostly kind of white usually, but at this point it's very gray.
Uh-oh.
You feel anything?
When you kind of stir yourself back to your own senses.
I imagine a bubble of peacefulness around me.
Okay.
I want to punch the grayness.
Bubble of peacefulness.
You attack the
Two
grays.
very opposite
Well, hold
reactions.
on. There's another thing to do. Okay, I need everyone to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh.
Okay.
Am I good at those?
As these thoughts buffet you.
Am I good?
I am not good at those, but I rolled well.
Please let me be
Well.
good. Yeah, 16. Not bad.
18.
Not bad.
What was it again? It was a
Intelligence saving throw.
right.
And my modifier is 0, so I had to roll that 18 myself.
Please,
Well done.
astral squids, don't eat my brains.
Well, I only rolled a 5, but my modifier is -1, so I actually rolled a 4.
Oh
Excellent.
Oh no.
And Steven, what did Serge get?
I am, in fact, waiting for Roll20 to respond.
You can just roll with analog dice and just trust you. It's fine.
If I had one, I could.
Oh, showing up with
Oh,
I can
that.
roll for you.
Shame.
No, sir. No. Oh, I see what the problem is. Shh. Stand by.
I can roll, yeah.
What will he roll? The anticipation is killing me.
Oh my God. Sorry.
What'd you get, Steven?
What?
I just closed the window.
Here, Steven, I'm just gonna roll
We'll
for
roll
you.
for
Okay, roll for me
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
just gonna roll
add 5.
for you. Okay. So 15.
Okay.
Oh, you added 5?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So these thoughts buffet your group, and you're all shaken and confused, discombobulated for a moment. And you see Cecilia and Rogar floating unconscious nearby.
Oh no.
What the?
Like
I rolled a 14. Did you catch that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
15
to make
was
sure.
the DC. You missed
His
it by
number
one.
sounded low, and I was just checking.
You failed your save not by very much. So you're
Fair.
mostly just kind of like in a swoon,
All right.
right? Rogar is out cold, down.
Oh.
And he's like, maybe he's mumbling about certain hot elf boys. I don't know. Anyway, but they are unconscious, and you see that the rest of you see that the dark spot is no longer there.
Oh.
In fact, you find a different object in a different direction on the horizon.
And what is the object?
Well, it's too far away to see.
It's another black dot? Dark spot?
It looks as you're looking at it, it looks like there's a trail of smoke rising from it.
Oh.
We still have the wizard, right? He didn't get lost in the rain winds.
Yeah.
No, he's still all tied up. isn't
You look at the rope, and the rope is not in your hand.
Oh.
Rogar's dreaming of eating cantaloupe.
And that wizard is nowhere to be seen.
At least we got it stuffed.
True.
I think Stong will go over to Rogar and Cecilia and try to secure them to him while they're recovering.
Oh, okay. Because Artemisia was going to go and see if Cecilia could be like awakened.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah, you can do
shake
that
her and-
first.
Well, she was starting to drift away, and you go over and catch her.
go over and catch her. Yeah,
And you
And
want
then
to shake
try to-
her awake?
shake her if I
Yep.
can.
Cecilia, you wake with kind of a start out of some kind of odd dream, like from a different place and time. And you were a totally different person, or perhaps several people.
That's very upsetting.
Gonna
Are you stop shaking me?
Liz wants
Sorry,
to go
you-
over to Rogar and see if Rogar's okay.
Well, he's unconscious
Okay.
and kind of floating in a circle, like
Take a feather and go.
head over heels. You wake him up.
Try to.
Okay, you shake him awake. Rogar, you wake up. What is the word that you say when you wake up?
Bogawomps!
Not yet.
Clear.
Rogar is awake.
What
you-
just happened?
Did the rest of us feel anything? The people who didn't go unconscious?
Yeah?
Yeah, all
you
the-
felt the
the-
wind,
oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
buffeting thoughts,
Yeah.
but they didn't knock you unconscious.
Hmm.
Does somebody want to make an Arcana check?
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Ah.
Can I interest you in an Arcana check? All right.
Well, I just wasted my 20 on a check. But so that's 23.
Oh, what? Wow.
Okay,
Somebody
so
was paying attention in school.
you got the highest. Artemisia, when you awoke in this place, it put you in mind of a particular lesson that you learned long ago at university about the astral sea, is what they called it. And apparently, roaming the astral sea are these things called psychic winds, which are composed of random stray thoughts from various points in the multiverse. And they are dangerous to travelers, apparently.
Oh, geez.
You also remember one key detail about the psychic winds is that they have both a location effect and a mental effect. The mental effect appears to have been buffeting you into unconsciousness, which some of you resisted. You're not sure what the locational effect was.
Look,
Oh. Well, but so there was a dark dot, and then we were one place, and then now we're a different place based on the dark dot. It might be a completely different thing, but for now, I think I vote we go on the idea that like it moved us from one to the other.
And so now whatever that dark dot is might no longer be coming toward us unless they notice us over here. Is it
It's
getting
possible.
bigger?
Nope. That other object is not moving.
Perhaps we should move towards it. I would like to find a
Yeah.
place to rest. I'm like down on my last legs, guys.
Yeah.
I got to give you another healing potion while we're at it here.
Well, I can heal him. Right?
You start floating in that direction.
As Cecilia floats, she is gonna do her level best to stomp, even though there's nothing to stomp on. Kind of it's not as satisfying as it should be.
Oh, nice. 15 plus 7, so 22 hit points for
Ooh.
each conflict. Assuming
Bless
that I feel Charlandlar's presence in the astral plane.
Yes, the power comes very clearly to you here.
Excellent.
So add a potion.
You could save the potion for now.
Save it?
That's what we
Okay.
need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you, though.
Sturge is going to close his eyes and concentrate on his sort of dream scape as a diviner. And entering the astral plane, did his dream life become more substantial or less? Or is it just the same? His future sense,
That's an
etc.
interesting question. You feel more connected with your divination senses.
Did it
Like
also
it seems much clearer now.
did it reset my anything?
It did not do that.
Okay.
I knew that was coming. And the answer is no. It did not reset. your
okay.
divination.
Give us a full rest.
To reset my
Hey,
Okay.
I mean, I
you
guess
think
we're gonna
that-
find out.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
think that if you reset your divination pool here, it might be easier for you.
Hmm.
So
But we'll see what happens.
I guess we'll find
Oh.
out. But as weird as everything is here, we don't really know how time works. So it's When do spells come back? Is a wonderful question that I suspect you're not going to answer for us.
It's like we're in quarantine. What is time?
You have no idea how long you've been floating there. You have no idea how long you've been traveling. You have no idea how far the wind pushed you. It could push you anywhere.
Gotta say, least I did not think the prime material would have a competition, but this is my least favorite plane. Jump towards the dark dot.
So you see some other you see movement not too far away emerging from the mists. It looks like creatures swimming through the astral sea.
Can I
look
make
sort of like squids?
Is there a sort of roll we can make to identify them? Is there a roll we can make to identify what those are?
You can make an Arcana check.
You know, in the Sea of Dragons, they eat squids as calamari fried normally.
1 + 3 = 4. I got a 4.
You're pretty sure those are giant squids?
Oh, guys, look,
Said that.
squids.
Astral squid.
Oh. Maybe we're under the sea.
I don't know. Is it wetter? Is it better?
Take it from me. What is this dice? What are my die doing tonight? So my Arcana is for the squid things is 22.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
You are filled with massive terror at seeing these things stung. Okay. You're like, oh my god, they're Astral Krakens. And Artemisia, you realize that they're really just astral squids. They're peaceful creatures that you've seen illustrated in a book once. And they only seem big from a particular perspective. They're not nearly as far away as you might have imagined. And they swim past you with scintillating colors that leave a trail behind.
Pretty.
While Stong is like, no.
No, it's okay, Stong. They're not. See, they're kind of small. Look, they're just pretty.
Look,
once she points that out, you're no longer filled with fear.
I'd like to just find a place to take shelter and take some rest, and then figure out where the Briar House is.
Is there that smoky
area? It does
area?
seem to be a little tired and a little like headachy. Maybe Stong has a headache.
Can we just
move it
stop here?
In the middle of the floatiness? Is there nothing here but floatiness?
You don't find floating there very restful.
I don't find any kind of floating restful. This is just really...
If we imagine we're on the ground...
Or if we all hold hands and just imagine shelter, maybe that would take us to whatever.
Or are we still the spot with the smoke? Is that still there?
Oh, is there smoke?
Yeah, let's go head for it.
Yeah, let's go look at it.
Keep going, I think.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Definitely spread out a little.
Yes.
In case we have enemies ahead.
Stong weakly takes his spot near the front.
Oh, stop it!
I got a bit to give. Don't worry. It'll be okay.
Okay.
And that, like, Eldritch Blast, turn it off. Eldritch Blast, turn it off.
Okay, so you're floating.
Works.
You're floating through the astral sea. You're traveling basically over land, except through the sea. Do you want to have any particular conversations or anything while you're going?
Do we have any idea what we're walking towards, out of curiosity?
It starts looking like a rocky outcropping or island of some kind.
Got it.
I'm going to cast Create Bonfire. Does it happen?
You're going to make me look this up, aren't you?
No, here, I'll read it to you. It says, you create a bonfire on ground that you can see within range.
So no.
Okay.
there's no ground.
Yeah.
Well, what is the range? Is it multiple miles?
60 feet.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so you're headed toward this rocky island.
I mean, if we're just floating like long enough to not like, but to like calm down from the battle, like, you know, heatedness a little. Artemisia is gonna like float up next to Cecilia, and and see if conversation happens for a while, like just there. If Cecilia wants to talk about anything, she'll say something in a minute. But
I think Cecilia is very up in her own head. So whatever Artemisia would like to broach, but she's mad. She's still real mad. That did not relieve her anger. And I guess if Artemisia's just chilling there, then.
Well, Artemisia is going to say something in a second. I just wanted to give Cecilia the
heads up. So I'm like, I don't want to talk, but I do want to make sure that the scene doesn't stop. So
you don't have to talk. That's fine.
So Artemisia is gonna like look around a little bit and then be like, I hope that Mirren and Sarshan is okay. Like I feel like we heard Sarshan get hurt and then I couldn't see him.
Do not talk to me about Sarshan right now. Do not talk to me.
Okay. I don't understand where is this coming from? Like, what is your problem? It was
he knew all this time. He knew. Oh my god, that Gesh has nothing at all to do with my wolf, who is apparently our brother, who's been like spending all his time with Rogar. Cool. Yeah, Sarshan had no problem talking about it afterwards. So I don't think that Gesh has anything to do with it. I think he just felt like he didn't need to talk about it. You got to talk about how Pact was really important. Great to have this bond with me. It doesn't have to tell me anything. So no, I'm mad at Sarshan.
Why? I don't understand like how you just sometimes like take against people. Like you decide they can't do anything right. Sarshan is so nice to you. And now you're like stomping around, and I suppose you expect that everybody is supposed to be angry at him too, despite the fact that he's very nice. And Lilton, okay. So now, just because I'm sleeping with him, he's sorry.
Apparently we're gonna throw the big guns. Of the crowd.
We're gonna throw the big guns here.
Everyone else, like the sisters are fighting.
Calling him a demon or whatever just because you don't get along with him for whatever reason, which okay, fine, but my choices aren't determined by your moods against whoever that you decide that you don't like. So Sarshan did not do anything. You're just mad because you want to be mad.
I'm just going to start walking faster. I'm going to just start walking faster because this is not an argument that Cecilia.
Who's
can't even
who has the higher intelligence?
Who's got the higher intelligence?
Mine's for sorry, that's my int is 12.
Yeah, so she's slightly fat. Well, and Artemisia's not chasing her. Artemisia's like fed her
I'm
piece.
sure Artemisia thinks she's stomping off for attention or something at this point.
Yeah. So
instead
of Artemisia will cross her arms and she will stay the same speed that she was going before.
Primp herself up. What is it? Everything's about you, huh? Sorry, I'm not there. I can't say these things. That's what Cecilia's thinking. She's like, I bet she's just like posing mad there because everything is actually about her. Cool. I'm booking it for those rocks. I'm going to go find some place I can have a little privacy, which seems like nowhere on this stupid plane.
Whole bunch of space, no privacy. Sturge, you mentioned you were ahead of the group.
Yeah, I'm going to be up there with Caliph unless Caliph wants to.
I need you to make a perception check, please.
While he does that, I just want to interject. Like, that was role playing. Like, I felt like, oh man, I felt like tense. Like, oh man.
Do we need a little calm down comfort mode?
Rhiannon are fighting, but it's their characters who are fighting. They're very good at it. They're not fighting. I just want to reassure
I have no problems with Rhiannon's.
They're such good role players
whatsoever. I don't think
fact, I am going to award both Cecilia and Artemisia inspiration. And the only coin I have for that is the giant inspiration coin that Randy gave me. So both inspiration.
Take it through the internet here.
Okay. Serge, what did you get on your check?
A natural 1 plus 7.
Great.
Pretty sure I'm going the right direction.
When the world starts darkening around you, you were taken totally by surprise.
Oh.
Uh-oh. More wind?
Just around
Or
the
wind,
switch.
sure enough.
Ooh.
So now, when it came upon you the first time, you weren't really sure what was happening. But now that you're more accustomed to the feeling, it's easier to identify the discrete experiences. The area around you becomes very dark, as though it is a moonless night, and like a
That's dark.
cloud passed over the moon, and the world around you starts shaking and buffeting you, like it's trying to like there's a storm that's brewing all around you, and it just suddenly swept up onto you. I need everyone to roll an intelligence modifier or intelligence saving throw, please. Intelligence modifier.
Oh, the die has been worn out.
Jeez.
Woo!
Time for a different
22.
19.
15.
My rage will sustain me.
13 plus 2.
I got a 10 minus 1, so 9.
All right. So, who got a 15 or higher? All right, you managed to fight off the effects of the winds. Those of you who did not succeed, you are the wind fills your mind with screaming random madness.
Oh, geez.
Oh, that sucks.
For Artemisia, this manifests as like a blaring cacophony of so many different things you've said over the course of your life.
Oh no!
That you were suddenly put in mind of everything you've said. The embarrassing things are the loudest.
That's the worst. Oh my god.
With Rogar, a similar thing starts happening to you, and then you are surrounded by these black grub-shaped smoke things,
Ugh.
Oh no!
which just start chanting Rogar, Rogar, Rogar,
Oh,
Rogar,
Bad dream. Bad dream.
echoing in your head.
Can the others see the grub things?
Well,
It's
you
just in my
can't-
head.
you
okay.
can't tell.
Right, okay. Oh,
Can the rest of us see them?
I
No,
reflexively
you're
summon my-
busy. You're busy fighting off the effects of the wind.
I reflexively summon my spirit guardians. Like I just want something to, like some protection from all of this. And
Okay, make a wisdom check, please.
4, so 20, 30, 20.
Okay, good. You summon your spirit guardians. Even in the throes of the escalating madness, you remember to designate your allies as not to be attacked by the spirit guardians.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
If you had failed that save, you would have attacked all of them with that spell.
Well, good. Why the Dwarven Valkyries appear? Oh.
Okay, so the actual effect that this has on you varies. So here we go. Artemisia, character becomes incapacitated and spends the duration screaming, laughing, or weeping.
oh, weeping.
Okay. And Rogar. Huh, fancy that. Same thing happens to you.
Screaming, laughing, or weeping?
Yes.
Okay.
That is a short-term madness
Right, I'm scared.
that the wind
I'm
has
screaming.
infused into your brain.
Okay.
So Artemisia, she like, oh no, poor Rogar. She curls up and her hands are completely over her face because she actually does like ugly cry. She does not cry pretty. But she like instinctively like wants to hide that fact, so she's really trying to hide the fact that she's crying.
So have we all physically moved as well? Like, where's the black dot?
Did the locational thing do stuff?
Is there a black dot?
So hold on one second.
Now we're in the ultra clouds.
You have indeed moved.
Squid, save us.
Okay. You're buffeted around in this dark storm, and hurled through a ring of inky jet black light. And when you come back to your awareness, you look around and see the world around you is no longer this peaceful, silvery sea of light, but instead a whirling morass of all sorts of matter. Rocks, fire.
This get worse and worse.
Wind, blood is floating through the air.
What? Whoa. This place is bananas.
Your ears are filled with a ringing, roaring sound as though you're inside a volcano. It's the volcano of creation that you're inside. And you're all sitting on a rock, which immediately starts breaking apart and tilting in different directions, sending you each in a different direction.
Good.
What do you do?
Artemisia and Rogar, are we still incapacitated, or has that?
Yes, Artemisia and Rogar are still incapacitated.
Okay, just crying on the rock.
Who's closest?
Screaming.
Who's closest to Sturge? Maybe we should roll initiative. We can go that way.
Stong is closest to Sturge.
I mean, honestly, like Cecilia would like to be by herself right now, which is like why this plane sucks double. But if we're
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
The volcano of creation or something, and there's blood floating around, I don't think it's a good idea to be by myself. So I guess I'm gonna try to be on the biggest possible rock with the most possible people. And I guess I'll grab Artemisia, even though I don't like her right now.
Who's closest to Rogar?
Also Rogar. I don't.
All around you, stone melts into
I haven't
water.
touched my feelings about Rogar
freezes
yet.
into metal, and turns into diamond, and burns up into smoke that becomes snow. It's just matter cycling at random through various different states of existence.
Where is the exit?
Who's close to Rogar? Is he still floating off?
Rogar is still floating off.
Who's closest?
To him?
Cecilia, you're actually closest to Rogar.
All right, I grab him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want him to float away.
Now that I've seen that she's secured both of them, Stong would like to spit into the air. Does my spit transform into stuff?
Yes, in fact, it starts changing into various objects.
I point at it. I'm like, you guys see this?
Starts off.
I feel like that's
snow. Then it turns into some kind of liquor. Then it turns into a squirrel. Then it turns into fire. The squirrel bursts into flames, screaming.
Is there an edge to this maelstrom?
Oh no!
Where's the exit?
Infinite maelstrom. There is the black circle, which appears to be a portal of some kind.
Oh right.
I mean, I feel like
grab everybody. Let's grab everybody and go.
Yeah, because
everybody hold hands.
Don't want to be here. Okay.
Yeah.
Pull ourselves out.
I'll grab onto Rogar's other elbow.
Weepy and screaming. He's like, Rogar, stop screaming in my ear!
Can't have her hands. Her
that
hands
madness is still going on. They're still
too embarrassed.
Oh my god, no one cares what your makeup looks like.
Kalith, are you the fastest one here because you're the smartest? Could you tow us out of this place quickly?
If Kalith grabs hold of everyone and imagines herself lifting them, and they all imagine themselves as being super light, does it work?
Make an Arcana check.
Oh, hi.
23.
Ah, okay. You realize that you are no longer in the astral plane.
Oh,
you are
God.
in the plane of limbo,
What?
where it's just pure distilled chaos in this place. But You recall from your studies before you burned the university down. I mean, before the incredible incident after which the university was burned down.
Thank you.
That you can exert your will over the plane of chaos to shape it to what you want.
All right. Kaylith wants to try and force her will onto the surrounding elements and make them into this spiral staircase that rises all the way up to the portal.
Perfect. Roll intelligence check. So Sturge, as you're climbing up the rock to try to get to the portal, and as Cecilia is holding on to Artemisia and to Rogar, Kaylith is like, I can do this. All right. What did you get on your check? 19. Oh boy. All right.
It's an escalator.
Oh yeah, can the staircase constantly move us up so we don't have to walk?
19 allows you to affect a 30-foot radius of space, which is a lot of space. So yeah, you're able to move. Okay, so the rocks just start shifting, and the floating lava comes in, and they become this pristine spiral staircase made of what material?
Diamond.
Diamond.
I go small.
Yeah.
And the spiral staircase leads up to the black portal.
All
And
right.
it
Do we-
exists within a sphere, within a 30-foot radius sphere. So everything in that 30-foot radius sphere is up to Kaylith's will. So
did
there's
you
the
do
staircase, and everything
Question.
seems calm within it. You can see everything outside, like the outside of a fishbowl, of whirling chaos all around you.
Can you make a door to home? Do we
Or
know
to
where the
Briar
black hole
House?
goes to?
You
Yeah,
don't
that's a
know,
good
but
question.
that seems to be where you came from.
How did you?
All right,
do
so that goes back to the Misty Mistland.
You see, okay, so Kaylith, shaping the area around, has cut a perfectly spherical swath through the rock that you had been climbing on.
Oh.
And you can see on the other side, like the cresting the rock is some kind of weird frog-like creature
Oh, good.
Oh no, I hate
With,
those.
Can I roll?
with sickly red coloration. Yeah, you can roll a check. An
Okay.
Arcana check would do it.
Arcana, sure. All right. Please let me know what this is. Okay, cool. 21.
Okay. So you've never seen this in real life, but that's a red slod.
Oh.
Slod are frog-like creatures like that. See? They're creatures that are native to the ever-changing chaos of limbo. And they are not necessarily malevolent, but extremely chaotic and dangerous.
So
Okay,
is
so
there
stairs.
enough is there enough extra material that Kaylith can shape like a sphere, and then as soon as it gets within her 30-foot radius, she could...
Hold on. So, Kaylith, you were exploring what else you can do with your powers. Stong, you look at it. It looks at you.
Oh no, the darkness.
Its eyes kind of like swirling, like hypnotically.
Oh, like Hypnotoad?
And then
Okay.
it leans to the side and barks out something in some bizarre language. And you see 3 more Slod come climbing around.
Okay.
They all look very excited.
Oh god.
Do the rest
One
of
of
us see
them,
this?
one of them, two more of them are red, and one of them is blue. Yeah, the rest of you see this.
So it's climb or blast. Anybody got a vote?
I think I vote we should run. We definitely are
fine.
weak. Yeah, and need some rest.
Cool.
Please.
Yeah,
Kaylith, you
stairs.
think that
The portal.
reshaping this area has stabilized it for a period of time. You could not reshape anything in this area.
All right,
Yeah,
back to
let's run.
Mistland. As fast as we can.
Please, please.
We have to use our regular legs now, don't we? Climb the stairs.
All right, I'm going to need everyone to make an initiative check, please.
Even Artemisia and Rogar?
Nope.
Okay.
Those two are just helplessly.
Sacks of potatoes right now. Weepy, messy sacks of potatoes.
you the one carrying them? Wait,
No,
why
wait.
is
Yeah,
Cecilia
Cecilia.
carrying them?
Oh,
Good for
Probably
you.
not.
The slot
Just
rolled
dragged
pretty
them
low.
back. Someone might have to help carry them up the stairs because I rolled a 17.
All right.
18 here.
7.
6.
Okay. So 18 and 17, you go first.
Who's 18?
Emily, I
Go.
think, is
Oh.
18, or is that
No,
Stong
mine-
that's 18?
I was
I was
7.
18.
Okay,
I
Stong
have
is
17
18.
too. What's your deck?
I had an 18.
You did.
Yeah.
I was
Oh.
working out with Emily who goes next, but that's fine. We'll do it when you're done.
Wait, I got
Emily got a
I got
7.
7.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you said 17.
0, 7.
Got
So
it.
I think Stong might see Cecilia with the two
Laboring under the
people.
weight of these two people that she's carrying.
Yeah. So he's gonna go over and try to at least grab Rogar, who he assumes is like a lot heavier with plate and all that.
He is wearing a suit of mithril plate armor, so yeah.
Okay, and then if he takes Rogar's weight and it isn't too much for him, he would also offer to take Artemis.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can carry both of them,
You
definitely do that.
can.
Okay.
One over each shoulder.
Yeah. Let's go, guys.
All right.
These frog
Stong
people are
starts
bad news.
pounding up the stairs, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cecilia.
All right. I am also going to go up the stairs. How far away are the Slotty?
30
The plural
feet.
Slod? Is it Slotty? I don't remember. Okay, so they're
Yes.
pretty close.
Everything you've ever heard about Slod is correct in some respect.
All Cecilia knows is that she thinks the plural is Slotty.
That's fine. So yeah,
Yeah.
they come like crawling down the rock and
Cool.
sliding down the.
Okay, so in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and try an Eldritch Blast them.
Right.
If nothing else, we'll discover what happens to magic in Limbo.
One of the
That'd
red
be fun.
ones, or one of the blue one.
Do I have any sense of one of them being more in charge than the others?
You do not.
There's more red ones, it sounds like.
Yep.
So I will go ahead and hit the red ones. Since we've proven the folly of trying to go after the head, I'll just go ahead and hit the mooks first. Hopefully I'm
Pick 'em
hitting the mooks. Maybe they have a system where they have too many managers for all I know.
Are
Okay,
you,
so-
are you
Nothing ever
incredibly-
gets done.
Are you angry? Is this like part of like Cecilia's anger?
But yeah, Cecilia is definitely like fine shooting them too because it prevents
Get it
something. And
out.
also like I don't even think Artemisia can complain about this. She would think they were gross.
Okay, what'd you roll?
I haven't yet. I've been talking too much.
Okay, that's fine. I mean that happens.
They actually
Does.
attack
Okay,
us.
the
Sorry.
first one definitely misses. I think it's a 13.
13 will miss. Yeah.
The second one is 16.
16. Yeah, it hits.
Okay.
Did you say you were shooting one of the red ones or the blue one?
I just figured I'd shoot 2 red ones.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 6 points of damage. That's it.
All right.
Well, on the good
Uh,
news, if it blows up on us, then low is better, right?
6 points of force damage. Yes.
Force
Okay,
damage.
thanks.
Little meteor in the
So
picture.
it kind of and goes keeps coming.
Okay.
Okay.
I've gone.
Feel
It's
it.
before I
These
did
are
that. Just
bad
to be clear, I
news.
went up as far the stairs I could.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
You were just at the base of the staircase, and the staircase is 60 feet. So
Okay.
you went up 15 feet, I think is, well, no, hold on. Going upstairs would be easier than climbing. So
God, I hope so. Caleb, what did you do with these stairs?
I didn't
They're all
make a
uneven.
staircase. I made a climbing wall. Let's get out of here.
Amazing. Not
Rope ladder, even
All
better.
right,
Oh,
you're able to go 30 feet up.
Okay.
Okay. Caliph.
Does 30 feet up basically put Cecilia right next to the portal? Or is
No,
it like
there's another 30 feet up.
60.
Oh my goodness.
Who's lowest down on the stairs right
You and Sturge. Because you haven't moved yet.
now? Let's put up a wall of water beneath us, just to try and slow them down a little.
A wall of water.
Yes.
All right.
right on the edge of the.
I don't like how he says
Yeah,
that.
it's
but-
gonna become a wall of flaming squirrels in a moment.
I need you to, I'm gonna need you to, I'm gonna need you to roll a d20, please.
Do I add anything?
No, just roll and tell me what you get. 13. Okay. Your wall of water appears, and it like extends around the sphere, around the stairs. How are you shaping it?
So if the stairs go like this, put the wall of water along it so that it.
The stairs are a spiral staircase in the middle of the sphere.
Yeah. So if we can like beneath, further down on the stairs from where Sturge and I are, or are we at the very bottom?
You're at the base of the staircase.
Circle it like a fence.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
put
we'll
like a column, like a cylinder of water around the
Ooh.
staircase if you
Alright.
wanted to.
Ooh.
Cylinder of water around.
Well, I mean, you could try to do that. I'm not saying that would work.
Really hoping for flaming squirrels. I'm not gonna lie.
What about something nice, like, I don't know, hot chocolate?
Wall of
One of
hot
the-
chocolate.
You don't have to watch them.
Wall of bunnies.
Dear viewers, one of the best things about being a DM is you can just say, yeah, you can do that. And then they will decide, no, we're not doing that. No, 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 no. So,
We are doing this.
Yeah, we're doing
We're
this.
doing it.
so final answer, you're shaping it how?
Ring around the stairs.
Cylinder.
Like a cylinder around the stairs. Okay.
Fence them out.
And then you head up the stairs?
Yes.
Okay. Surge.
Hollow, dashing.
Does the water stay? Like as I was asking
For
or
now.
something?
For now.
For now. All right.
Okay. So the creatures go after Sturge. Sturge, you can actually make it to the top of the stairs if you want to.
Mhm.
You aren't taking any other actions.
No, I was just gonna dash and
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you're at the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Just under the black portal.
okay. Like how just under?
Like it is 5 feet from the top of the stairs. So you have to
Okay.
duck not to be in the black portal.
Okay. And do I see these things from where I am?
No, they're outside this cylindrical wall of water,
Okay. And
which is rapidly turning red
right.
Not
Red.
flaming squirrels.
as
What?
though being
Transmuted.
transmuted into red liquid of some kind.
But the
Maybe
stairs
it's
I'm on,
wine.
the stairs are not turning into red liquid.
No, stairs
Okay.
are still stable diamond stairs.
Do I know how she did that?
You're pretty sure she exerted her will over that area.
Could I exert my will?
Not over my area. Choose
Not
another
within
area.
the same area.
Go
but
find
you
your own
could do it
area,
on a
Sturge.
different
Stack it on
area of
top.
space.
Yeah.
Different
Stack it on
people's,
top. Keep the stairs going.
yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would do. But I think I've used my action, unless it's a bonus action.
Would the stairs go straight up to the portal?
No,
They're
they're
5
short.
feet short. So we'd have to jump, I guess.
Well, okay, you can look past the portal. The portal is 10 feet in diameter.
hmm
Okay, so it's like a 10-foot diameter circle on top of this sphere. Beyond the portal, you can see floating rocks. You can see a 3-legged deer float past you. You
What?
can see
More of the same?
a table set for a very fine dinner go floating past you.
Is there a cozy bed?
Important question about the deer. Is it like
Beetlejuice.
Make an
does it look
intelligence
like a
check.
normal 4-legged deer that's just missing one, or is it a tricycle?
Tricycle
Yes.
Intelligence.
It's a
Intelligence
tricycle
check.
Intelligence check, yeah.
Okay. 21.
21. Okay, 21. You turn that desk into a comfortable bed.
Oh, buddy.
And it stops right there.
Right.
It is now floating kind of just on the side of where the portal is.
It's
A
writing
little
this like
ways
a raven
out in the
when it's
chaos.
full of feathers.
So, okay, but I can't act anymore. I'm done with my actions.
It was an action to do that, yes.
Okay. I'm just going to say, well, on the other side of this portal seems like whatever you imagine appears.
I mean, it's kind of a small bed. It's like a cot.
Oh,
It's the size of a cot, but it looks like a massive 4-poster bed. It's just small. It's like sized for a halfling.
next round, I'll make some adjustments.
Okay, so the Slod go. All right. One of them is going to attempt to push through the wall of water. What happens, Emily?
The water that he touches instantly turns into acid and then melts him.
Ooh.
No, what does the spell say?
I like her version. I like her version.
I like that. That was good.
Instant
That's
KO.
The wall space is difficult terrain.
Okay. So the Slod push through the wall, and then they look up at you, and they come bounding up the stairs.
How far below are they?
They were at the bottom of the staircase.
Oh.
This is a 60-foot climb, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their movement, since they took the dash action to keep moving like this, puts them basically level with anybody who's at the middle of the staircase, which is everyone except Sturge. So they're right below you on the stairs. Next round, round 2. Emily, I'm going to need you to roll a d20, please.
Oh.
14.
14. Okay. The wall of water turns entirely red, like the red of blood, and then starts to resemble a churning, moving mass of living creatures.
I'll go umps.
That might have been a bad idea.
Okay.
Trying
Song,
us with a wall of zombies. I'm just
Song, you go first.
Yeah.
You have Rogar screaming in your ear. You have Artemisia just having a total breakdown on your other shoulder.
Yeah, I feel like his priority would be to get his friends to safety. He feels confident that his other friends can escape, so he's going to
You just keep bustling up that staircase.
Yeah,
You're getting a little heavy. Even carrying these a dwarf in full armor and another person on your other shoulder. She's willowy and light, but the dwarf is like you're low riding on that side. Right?
He's dense.
I'm gonna need you to make an athletics check, Stone.
Okay. So out of curiosity, do I get like a normal action and a move action while carrying them?
Yes, you do. This athletics check is to reach the portal with one move action.
Okay. Because if I had a normal action, I can cast Enhance ability and give myself like strength, advantage on strength checks, and double my carrying capacity.
You could certainly do that if you want to.
Okay, let's do that. I'll burn in the spell slot. It's my last slot.
Cast Bull's Strength on yourself.
Yeah. And he's going to then...
What does that song sound like?
Our
Bard.
Yeah. Man. The only thing that's coming to me is like the Chinese sound for what Bulls make, which is like nyo.
I love animal sounds in different languages.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite linguistic things.
No.
Nice.
Yeah. So then he
So you're okay, let me get this straight. You become the neo orc, right?
Yeah. So like I
Okay,
said,
cool.
I blow some steam from my nose, and then I bolt
Okay.
up the rest.
All right. You're still going to need to make the check, but you do have advantage with it
Excellent.
because that's what the spell does. And the carrying capacity, since you increase your carrying capacity was already massive. Like his strength is 20, his carrying capacity is massive. They become very light, but you still need to make the check.
29 is my high.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Oh!
Yeah. No
problem.
I'm a bard
It's
who's
up there.
I'm a bard whose expertise is athletics.
Okay.
Nice.
You're at the top. Since you rolled so high, you're at the top of the stairs. You can go through the portal or push one of your friends through the portal.
Wait a sec.
If you would like.
So he passes the slods?
No,
that's very
they're
up.
at the base.
Oh, the base. Sorry.
He is up in the middle.
Gotcha.
The staircase is not going downward.
Right.
Don't
I
worry.
was,
Although that would be very appropriate for.
Stop it.
I thought the Slod were at the middle now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
didn't they
they're
get
the
up?
middle.
They are.
Yeah.
They're right below all of you on the staircase,
Okay.
but they couldn't attack because they had used all their actions.
So would it be possible for me to jump through with both of them and then just like let them go and turn around and like extend a hand through the portal or something?
Maybe.
I try to do that.
He's gonna pull out the flask.
I bring both of them through the portal and make sure that they are safe because they are helpless. So,
Okay. Song leaps up into the portal, vanishes. Like there's this ripple of faintly lighter color that spreads along the black. It's like diving into a inactive television. Just whoop. Starkey. Okay, Cecilia. The Slod are right there next to you.
And how close?
They are one of the red Slod is adjacent to you with drool coming down its mouth, and it's like
Gross.
Very
if
gross.
it's that close, I'm gonna poison spray it.
Okay.
Which is a Constitution 17 saving throw.
It did not make it save.
Okay, doke. So then I do some damage. Oh,
Cool.
D&D Beyond, you're nice to me. 19.
19 damage.
Oops, I'm gonna
Ouch.
kick it twice. 19 poison damage.
got him right in the eye.
Okay. Yeah, that Slod was not expecting that.
And then
You hear a psychic roar of pain in your head.
And
Like,
I get
it
a-
didn't actually make it does make the sound physically and
Uh-huh.
mentally in your head.
can I then get away? Or is it close enough that it's gonna
It is going to
Swipe
attack
me.
you. But yeah, you
Okay.
can run away.
I mean, I definitely would like to run away because
Cool.
am I the last one down here? Is everybody else above me? Or Caliph, are you down here with me
Caliph
still?
is
Caliph
also
is still
down
down
at the
there.
middle.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
you and Caliph, the two squishiest people in the party.
Oh,
Not counting Artemisia. Artemisia is
guys.
fairly okay. Artemisia is a dragon sorcerer with lots
Yeah,
of
it's
shield
got
spells. She's not that
No.
squishy.
How far am I from the portal?
30 feet.
Okay. I am going to it's gonna crush me, isn't it? No, I'm gonna try and see if Misty Step works.
Okay.
But I don't have any spell slots yet. So if I haven't got my spell slots back, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Okay, good to know.
All right, here we go. That is AC 16. So it
Yeah, that
tries to
definitely hits.
bite you.
Jerk. Okay.
Okay. So that hits you, and it does.
Should have kept my armor on.
Eight piercing damage.
Okay.
Which is not too bad, right? No, that's it.
That's it.
Do you
don't know how to make it turn off my armor.
Do
Hang on a
you,
second. Okay.
do you do anything? You know,
I mean,
use your reaction to teleport away.
I kind of say yes, but I don't know how smart that is. Is that something I ought to make an intelligence check before I do?
Sure.
I guess that's Arcana, isn't it?
I don't know.
Or
It's more like
something.
an instinct sort of thing. So that
Insight.
could be an insight check, I guess.
Oh, I didn't roll very good. I rolled an 8.
Okay, so you
trigger
teleport
it.
away.
I'll jump.
You end up invisible at the top of the stairs.
Handy dandy.
Oh,
I'm so
nice.
glad that didn't make me disincorporate.
Next
Sorry,
to
Caliph.
Scourge.
Who was not picking his nose in that moment.
He is not picking his nose in that moment. Okay. Do you want to go through the portal? You still have more movement.
Oh, I do? Oh, yeah. Then let me go through the portal.
Okay. You leap up into it, and it just kind of drinks you in like a pool of blackness.
I don't think I like portals.
Okay. Kayla, you're down at the middle of the stairs. The Slod are swarming around you. There's one, the Slod that bit Cecilia and then she disappeared into the mist is still there. It's like, and it's like chewing the air. Like, where did she go? And the blue Slod clambers over that one and reaches for you. What do you do?
Can I just turn and run? Do they get to attack?
You can.
Yeah. Okay. No one's gonna be a hero here. Just turn and run.
Yeah.
Sure enough, that Slod is going to attempt to swipe at you with its claw. That's going to be AC 21.
Oh, my
Jeez.
goodness.
Does that hit?
Yeah, I think that's
Just a
Okay.
little.
so. Hopefully.
All right. It does 13 points of slashing damage to you.
Still moving.
And I'm going to need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
14.
Okay. Where it slashed you, which was, I guess, maybe on your leg, on one of your arms, probably. The wounds start prickling and feeling and burning and freezing and like jittering with like nerve shock all at the same time. And you realize that it has delivered some kind of poison or disease to you.
Great. Let's deal with it once I am through the portal.
All right. And you run up to the portal. You're at the top. You want to go through? Okay. It's just Sturge left. Sturge, you're seeing these Slod come crawling up the stairs toward you.
And they're not within range, like melee range.
You can wait until they are. If you
No. I'm just going to jump through and try to, since everyone seems to be floating through there, like again, sort of swimming. Is that correct?
We're kind of glooping.
They basically disappeared.
Okay,
as
I'm
soon as
just
they
going to
touch it. Like it absorbed them and then just whoop into it.
But I saw, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm just going to jump through.
So you're not going to like check to see if they have cool magical items or something? Just try to.
In their
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Have any good magic items for sale?
Hey, you melt through the darkness. And I think
Okay.
that is where we will take our break. Another cliffhanger. Yes.
Nice.
And okay, so can we run polls? Is that a thing that
Yes.
can happen? Okay. Mods, please run a poll. However you figured out that works. For our interview +1, it's anybody except for Emily, since Emily was last week. Otherwise, we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll do the interview, and then we'll be back. So don't go away. Hey, well met. We're back. Interview +1 with Yang Yang Wang, player of
Heyo.
Stong, who's the bard whose strength is his strength. How's it going, Yang Yang?
It's going pretty good. I really like being in the astral plane and all these crazy dimensions to learn all these new physics and see these new creatures.
Yeah. A fun fact about me and my gaming history, the first source book or setting that I ever owned was Planes of Chaos. And so I've been running games in Limbo and the Abyss and Arborea forever. So it was real fun to just kind of come back to that. And I'm glad it's coming across well. I have some questions here for about Stong, if you don't mind. So let's
Hit me
go
with your
that.
hardest questions. Let's go.
Your hardest questions. Okay.
Please
First
don't be
question,
gentle.
super hard.
Okay.
Who does Stong want to hug most right now?
Oh, easy. Definitely Mirabelle. It's been
Ah.
like so many adventures, and he's been kind of holding in how nervous he is. He's been acting cool, but inside he's just very worried about both her and everybody else in Briarhouse.
Yes. As you probably guessed, you and the viewers, this sojourn into the Astral Sea and the various planes is kind of pushing everybody toward investigating what happened with Briarhouse. So, what's the first thing you're going to do when you see Mirabelle after you hug her? So I figure number one is the hug, and then number two is...
Whoa, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that he would like play with her, or like he has some special like father and daughter thing that they have together. My initial thought was he would like whirl her in his arms and like throw her up a bit, and then they would probably talk. And by they would talk, I mean he would talk at her and tell her about everything that's happened to him.
Awesome. Another question. Oh, this one's for you, Yang Yang, as Yang Yang.
Okay.
What was your motivation in making a bard whose strength is his strength?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I've been playing D&D for a while, and I was like a big power gamer for a long time, playing fighters with maximum strength, trying to get the most out of every number. And for this particular stream, I thought it'd be fun to try something a little different and see how well you can test like the cases of this game system. I saw that they had a Valor Bard, and most people that I know tend to play Charisma Bards or Dex Bards. So with the Valor Bard, I decided to see, like, can I create a strength-based bard? How effective can I be? Honestly, the answer is that it's kind of a little lackluster. If you're looking for big, crunchy numbers, it's like not gonna give it to you versus like a fighter or a barbarian. But you have a lot more options, and it's a lot more fun.
Awesome.
Very fun to roleplay.
I will confess that for the longest time, Yang Yang, I have thought this is silly. Like, Stong is definitely going to get himself killed. His powers are going to fail at the exact moment that he needs them most. But it has not. He has gone along and become an essential part of the team, even with a ability score penalty in his primary ability score for his class. It's remarkable.
I have power gamed it a little bit, where I've purposely chosen spells that don't really rely so much on DC checks, so I can get guaranteed.
Awesome. Okay, so, I see a question from me. Good. All right. Without giving away anything you might still use, since the beginning of the campaign, anything you can share where you had a great plan and player agency took it off the table? Oh my God, it happens all the time. Well, no, that's not really true. The players have made, okay, so my gaming philosophy tends to be all about character choice and agency when I can do that. Like, sometimes I'll have plots and like push people in particular directions, but most of the time it's a sandbox that I'm improvising the outcome of results. So people make choices. I present them in situations. They make choices. I think about what the consequences are going to be. And then the consequences are what I present in the next session. So I have certain long-term plans and certain arcs that I want us to get through. But the rails, if there are rails, are buried very deep. It's hard to tell that you're on rails most of the time. It doesn't mean it always works. And sometimes things happen at the table that kind of contradict player agency in the ways that people saw their characters going. But I find that most of the time it is at least mostly successful in empowering players to make their own choices and guide the campaign the way they want. So that's a very long-winded way of saying, if I had plans that the players have disrupted, I'm not going to admit it. I'm just going to say that, yeah, that was my plan all along.
Oh, yeah.
But the truth is, I'm a dog chasing cars. Do I look like a guy with a plan? Anyway, so let's see. one last question for Yang Yang Stong, and then we will go back to the game. So
Okay,
that
but actually,
question...
I do have a question for you too.
Oh yeah, sure.
If you give me this question first.
Go for it.
Oh, okay.
No. Ask me your question.
So, what are some of the most interesting features of Westgate, the city itself, that you feel like we either won't get a chance to see or we have not?
Oh man. Okay. So the 7 Lost Gods, the hills outside of Westgate, have a great deal of mystery and intrigue about them.
Cool name.
There's a series of theories, and scholars debate which gods are honored by which hill. And one, the 7th hill, nobody can really tell for sure. I think there's a lot of potential in that you may or may not ever explore. I was going to say the Quelzarn is a thing that I don't know if you'll encounter on the screen, but they did encounter in one of their pre-campaign adventures, and that was fun and memorable.
Could you remind people what the Quelzarn is?
So the Quelzarn is a legendary sea serpent that dwells in the sewers beneath Westgate. Well, that's the urban legend.
Oh, I see.
Quelzarn lives in the sewers, right? Most people don't think the Quelzarn is really a thing at all. And scholars who are very serious about their craft believe that the Quelzarn, if it does exist, lives in the Sea of Fallen Stars and only occasionally comes close to Westgate. It's basically the Westgate Dragon Coast Loch Ness monster, right? But it is still a popular enough legend that dumping bodies in either the sewer or in the bay is referred to as feeding the Quelzarn.
Nice. I like that.
And a common saying on the streets of Westgate is "Don't wake the Quelzarn," which means don't make a lot of noise or a big fuss.
So, are there ever Quelzarn attacks, or does it just take care of like the refuse?
Yes.
I see. Okay.
And I do have cool things that I want you to interact with in Westgate, but I think because of that thing I was talking about player agency and choice, I can't really predict exactly which directions you're going to go. So hopefully you're going to go explore the things I think are really cool. But then again, I love Westgate, and I think most things about it are pretty cool. So I think that's all the time we have for the interview plus one. I was just vamping until I thought of another question for Yang Yang, but that was a good one to end on. So let's go back to the campaign if everyone's ready.
All right.
You should write like a campaign guide for Westgate or something.
I am, in fact, writing a campaign guide for Westgate, which is going to come out sometime. Okay. Are we back?
Yes.
My spell was successful. All right. So the Dark Portal has led you back to the Astral Sea. But rather than awakening in a buoyant, floating state, you find yourselves washed up on the shores of a rocky island. It is like being shipwrecked, in a sense, although shipwrecked by the greatest storm imaginable, which is an entire plane that is elemental chaos. You find yourselves in a moment of peace. It's almost as though you're back on the prime material plane, but you look up and you see the silvery white light in the endless horizon of the Astral Sea. And here you are on this island, all 6 of you.
How big is the island?
The island appears to be maybe half a mile or so long.
Flat?
And about half that wide.
Pretty flat?
Not really. There are mountains and ridges. And you're sitting there taking a moment of peace. And in the course of this time, apparently you were kind of sleeping for a time. Time has passed, and you gain the benefits of a short rest. For those of you to whom that makes a big difference.
Yes.
You can spend hit dice to recover HP, and your witch spells recharge.
And I assume the weeping and the screaming has stopped, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It has blissfully ended. Your short-term madness is gone.
You have like magical
Raccoon.
makeup that resets.
No.
Yeah, it's called prestidigitation. I just wave my hand. Whoa, perfect. Not perfect. Perfect. Not perfect.
Do we seem like we're not in any immediate peril here?
Yes.
Yeah.
It seems peaceful. The terrain is mostly stone. There's some scrub grass growing out of parts of the stone. And you can climb up the rock. You see a trail of smoke rising up into the sky from farther up on the rock.
I'm gonna go explore. I'm gonna go walk off and explore.
Do you tell everyone that is that what you tell everyone?
It's
or do
what
you
I
just
say
walk
if
off?
anybody asks where I'm going.
I'd like to take a glance at her before she goes.
Okay.
Because exploring right now seems weird to me. So maybe I'd like to make like a perception.
Okay.
So that is a 14.
I mean, yeah.
Does anything look out of place with her?
It's more of an insight thing.
Side? Okay.
Her hair is real messed up from that wind.
Yeah.
But
Her
it
hair
has
is
not
real
turned
messed
into
up.
burning squirrels, so we're up one, really.
I'm sure
Don't notice
some of
burning
her
squirrels.
clothes are scorched, and she
That
has
might be from before.
that might be from before. That might be from years ago. And she has
Pay attention to my clothes.
a bite taken out of like her half cloak or whatever she has. It
Okay.
doesn't seem to have done any significant damage to her.
So I got a
My
16
cloak,
on my
which is actually char vestments I wear over my shoulders.
Exactly.
It's a cloak.
So I got a 16 on my insight. Basically, I'm trying to figure out, like, is she okay?
What do you want to tell him?
I think you can definitely tell that she's upset. That if anyone has asked, she definitely said, "I'm going exploring." But maybe there's a little wobble in her voice and a lot of tension.
Okay, so I think Stong turns to the rest of the group. Hey, I think something's up with Cecilia. I'm gonna go and try to have a chat with her. Will you guys stay here?
I
Of
think
course.
something's definitely up with her. Good luck.
Okay. No
I for
pressure.
myself, but you're closest to her, so please, as a friend, go and
That moment when
Don't you cut.
Artemisia's element of choice switches from lightning to ice.
Yeah. So
Artemisia is fixing her makeup, and then she's going to fix her hair, and her back is to where anybody might be exploring on the island.
Priorities.
Very straight, perfectly postured back. No. Yeah.
So
Okay.
as Stong walks away, he's going to cast like a long look back at Artemisia, who is doing that, and then he's gonna shoot a look at like Kalith and Sturge and Rogar and be like, and then he's gonna go follow where Cecilia went off.
Okay.
Like as soon as Cecilia is definitely out of sight and earshot, find like a little kind of nook, some
Like a
rock
promontory.
behind maybe.
Mhm.
And she's gonna like sit down and have a good hard stress cry. She's going to sob her guts out.
Okay. That's fair enough. All right. Yeah. This island is riddled with such little turnarounds and mysterious little outcroppings. It looks like it
place
was
to cry into your knees
Cry
so
shells.
hard you could vomit.
Oh wow.
the rock itself doesn't seem to be formed by any geological sense that you know. Like it seems random, basically, and so you can find a private place. Stong, I'm going to need you to make a perception check or an investigation check, whichever you prefer. This is to find Cecilia.
I'm better at investigation. That was a 21.
Oh, hey. Okay.
So good at finding cry shells.
a rock. It doesn't matter.
And each of these looks like a little crying nook.
All right. So you eventually come upon Cecilia,
Okay,
who
so
is sobbing. which, as I recall, is not a thing that you have ever heard Cecilia ever do, or imagined Cecilia ever doing.
You don't know.
Like I
hope
said,
not.
I imagined.
So I think the sight of Cecilia crying, you're right, like Stong's never seen that. He always sees her as like a really strong-willed individual. So almost wonders if he accidentally trespassed on something. So he's going to just kind of like stand to the side of her, like not walk up to her and like confront her, but he's gonna kind of like silently walk up to her on the side, then pull out a sheet of his music and then offer it to her, just like arm's length, so that if she wants to take it, she can take it.
I'll make anyone feel better.
Yeah, cry into my music.
I'm assuming that like Cecilia is too far in her own feelings to hear this approach, but I don't think you can ignore music being so I think she sort of like sits up and kind of calculates whether or not she can pretend none of this happened. And he's still standing there holding the music.
Yeah, he's just like staring ahead though. He's like not really looking at it, as
You
he
take the music. Briefly wonder if I'm supposed to blow my nose on this. And I look at it. Do I know this music? Is it new? What's the deal?
Yeah, it's like a work in progress. There's a bunch of the word baby on it.
I go like, well, I'll give it to you. Like, this is the kind of thing that Gnarl at the Black Boot loves, so go with it, I think. Are we moving? Are we leaving or something?
So everybody is deciding to wait for now. I told them to hang out for a little. I take a look and just see what's happening. I couldn't help but eavesdrop on you and Artemisia's conversation here, and it seems like I always thought the two of you bestest of friends. So what is it that's causing you?
She doesn't want me to make her feel bad by being angry. I don't. She thinks that all of this is entirely, I don't know, she thinks it's my fault, that I'm sure she thinks I'm unreasonable. She doesn't even want to listen to me. And maybe it is my fault. I should have known, because this is exactly what happens. You trust people and you think they care about you. You think that you matter to them, and it's all fake. It's all just setting up to, trick you or blow something up in your face. And I was dumb, I guess.
Wow, it really sounds like that you've got some trust issues here. I hope you don't mind me saying that.
I earned them. Like, they didn't. I came by them honestly.
So
people are terrible.
When I was over at the graveyard, I know that you saw scars on my body. And I do agree with you from experience that people are terrible. But I also know from experience that people are wonderful. And just because you have a few bad experiences doesn't mean that you couldn't try find those people who are really caring about you with attachments, or like they don't require anything. So Stong at this point will bare one of his shoulders, and he's going to like point at this scar on his shoulder that looks like it's long-heeled, but it is like and fairly thick. And we'll say this is my first experience in the world after I left the swamps of Cormyr. I just left with my loot and wandered the roads, and I think I didn't really understand. I came upon 2 elves in the forest, and I went out to say hello. And they took me down. One of them stabbed me and gave me this. Now, I would have perished if not for a band of forest brigands who actually found me. And they're the ones who actually nursed me back to health. They were a group of farmers turned desperate in dire times. So I really don't know. There's all these labels these days. Elves are beautiful and really like high into art and thought of well, and bandits are bad. But I also hear orcs are bad, and I don't think I'm that bad. I guess what I'm trying to say is there are terrible people out there, but it's not because of what the labels that we think, covers on the book. Sometimes good people have to put into bad situations.
Cecilia is she's gonna like sit for a second, like she's listening and she's like moved, but she pulls up her like skirts, or I just always picture her in the picture, but that's not actually studded leather armor, so whatever.
You can have skirts in addition to
she's got studded
armor.
leather skirts for all you know. And
Lots of armor incorporates skirts of some kind. So,
but she showed you a scar on her leg. It's kind of like a fat old burn scar. And she says, "Do you know what a Durthan is?"
No.
So in Rashomon, they're bad witches. Okay, they are. Do you have boogeymen? Like, do you have like the thing that you're supposed to be scared of in the Cormyr Swamp? Like, what do you?
Murder bears.
Murder bears. Okay,
Purple
so they're
dragons.
like the murder bears, right? You hide from the Durthan because they're gonna break everything. And I guess it was probably the 5th time I ran away from home. I actually made it. I got out. Nobody caught me. And what did I do? But I ran right into a camp of Durthans. And the thing was, they weren't scary. They were really nice. They took care of me and they fed me and they offered to teach me magic. And I did not trust them. And I did not trust them. But eventually, a bunch of nice ladies telling you that you've got the skills and you are someone that they want around. Wow, that's really easy to listen to. And I started to say, okay, maybe they're not so bad. And maybe I do trust them. And then you know what happens? Like maybe 7 months later, they handed me over to some red wizards. And this is the mark that you get when you barely dodge a fire lance. People pretend that they care about you, but they're just waiting for time to turn. And I think Artemisia is going to turn on me.
What makes
It's
you?
going to happen eventually. She thinks I'm terrible. But more importantly, very clearly, Sarshan does not care. So I get to be mad about it. I made myself cry. I'm so sorry.
Look, I can't give you inspiration again.
Yes, no more chocolate coins there.
From the first one and turn it back.
So I think Stong will say, I'm not sure what makes you feel like Artemisia, of all people, turn on you. I always thought you two were long time best friends. I've never really asked you past. I'm really sorry to hear that happen. Hope you know that the rest of us are here for you. I know we've only been together for 2 years, but I think we come well, an odd, sometimes at odds family. But at the end of the day,
And the problem is that's how it feels right before. So I hope you're right. Especially because I don't have anywhere else to go. Especially on this stupid plane where there's nothing. And I can't leave her. She doesn't. Ilora told me that. And Caliph and I went and looked in the library, but it's not enough. Okay. If I tell you something later when it's important, will you just believe me?
of course.
You promise to just believe me because it's a really big deal, and I'm really afraid that no one's going to believe me when I have to do something about it.
Stong takes a moment to really look at her. Nods his head slowly. Says, of course. Whatever it is, I will believe you. Have your back. So, I don't know. A little bit more time here. Could go back and tell the others that shiny something. But I feel like
Oh, they're probably all wondering what's wrong with me. What's around us? Is it like water or is it clouds still?
It's silvery gray clouds.
I can't splash my face with cold water.
No.
you
are
What happens
realizing
if you splash yourself with cold clouds?
you are realizing that since you've been here, you haven't felt hungry or thirsty,
That's very weird.
and you're not.
I figured it was just the stress.
Yeah. But like usually like when you kind of come down from like a big battle, you feel, like I should eat or drink something. But that just it's totally absent right now.
There's perks to this plane, but
So I think what Stong would do is he's feeling a little teary-eyed and he's holding like the wet sheet of music that Cecilia cried into. So he's going to like put it to his face and like rub his eyes. And after he takes it off, it looks like he's got some like honey mascara eyes. And so he'll say, we can go back, and if you don't want to say that you cried, then I don't know, come up with something because I'm really bad at lying.
I don't gotta know.
Nice.
So you could also rub your face with this, and we could have matching dark eyes, and then they.
It might be the best solution since there is no cold compress in the astral sea. Or maybe just to add a like weird like flip symmetry. Cecilia is a very pretty crier.
Okay.
Maybe she doesn't get all red faced.
Oh well, it's too late for me.
Seriously.
I've already done that, so you do with it what you will. All right.
To just go back and like, rely on my formidable intimidation check to dare anybody to ask me about why my face is red.
Okay.
All right. So we're back.
Unless,
So-
you know, a squid is going to pop out and eat us because it turns out they're not so docile.
So while they have been gone, what have the rest of you been doing?
Sitting on a high point, just kind of watching, keeping watch.
Are you searching for a suitable high point?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to go very far though.
You can hear them talking. Like you can faintly hear their voices, not close enough to hear what they're saying.
Hmm.
And like, so you can stay away from them and still sort of look for a high point to go to.
Yeah, I would prefer to do that.
Okay. Make an athletics check to climb the odd stony outcroppings of the island.
9.
9. Okay. They're very treacherous, and you scrape your hands up quite a bit while you're climbing. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
Essentially like abrasions on your hands.
Hmm.
And once you see this perfect rock that's extending out over the sea, and you're climbing up to it, and you slip and fall and end up flat on your butt on what appears to be a pathway leading to a cave. And the only thing that's really distinctive about this, because like I said, the rocky outcropping is mostly random, is that there is a fire pit in the middle of the area just outside the cave where the smoke has been rising from.
This is Plato's. Cool.
Time to get enlightened.
Okay. How far away from the group do I think I am?
You lean back over the stone to look down at the group, and you think they're about 100, 200 feet away, but down some ways.
Okay, I'm going to. So I see this by looking down. I see this place below me.
No, you fell and landed next to the fire
sorry.
pit.
Poof. Okay, and
If you'd rolled better on your athletics check, you would have just seen it looking down.
okay, just quickly, or I just need to listen real hard to hear if somebody heard me and is approaching. Or maybe I'll hide. That's what I'm going to do, and then I'll listen.
Well, that would be a Sturge classic. Make a stealth check.
$15,
You hide in the shadows.
and just listen.
Okay, make a perception check.
21.
Okay. You think you can hear faint breathing sounds from inside the cave. They're very regular, almost like a really slow heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Like someone sleeping.
Maybe.
How I'm going to examine like this area to figure out how big this person or thing is. Like,
Well, the fire pit appears to be sized for like a human-sized person.
okay. How far away do I imagine this person is based on their breathing sound?
No idea. It's just coming out of the cave.
Okay. I'm going to creep away back towards the group.
Okay. So, Cecilia and Slod, are you rejoining the group? Okay. So you arrive about the same time that Sturge does. Sturge was climbing down from a rock, like in a different direction from the direction you went. So clearly not spying on you or anything.
I was doing a bit of scouting and I stumbled upon a cave, occupied, fire pit, someone sleeping inside, I think, based on the sound of their breathing. Not
Was there
far from here.
some rattling that came from that cave, perhaps? Oh, there it is again.
Sounds like they're waking up.
Yeah.
I'm a dummy, by the way. I put my mask on. That's how I hide the fact that I've been crying.
Oh, well, I just
That's not dumb.
dark
That's
eyes.
very smart.
I just have dark eyes. Oh, I
Look
fell
over.
into my
Did it?
music. Sorry. Clumsy of me.
I appreciated the gesture quite a lot.
Like Stong has inky, blurry.
It didn't follow the
boats on
logic
his
very
face.
well. But...
Yeah.
It's a good look. A little new tattoo.
Trying to be edgier.
Working for his new act.
Yeah.
His new
kill
song,
the
Baby,
young
Baby,
people.
Baby, Baby.
Very
No.
dark lyrics.
Well,
So
Just thinking.
It's
of
okay if you
Mirabelle.
don't get it. It's very
Yeah.
avant-garde.
It's a battle
definitely
song.
thinking
Well, I mean, if we're taking a moment while Stong and Cecilia were off talking and
Mhm.
Stephen was off exploring, I guess
Okay.
Rogar could go over and just ask Artemisia, "Are you okay? There seems to be some tension between you and your sister."
I shouldn't have. It's so frustrating. My Marcelea, when I was a kid, there were nobles that she liked that were likable, that were the people that you liked, and then there were nobles that were on her bad side and they were bad and you didn't like them. And Cecilia just doesn't like people sometimes, and I don't think she actually cares. Well, I'm sure she would rather I didn't like the people she doesn't like, but I don't think she's trying to force me. But it really hit me hard that I'd like to like the people that I like and not have to be angry at them when I don't want to be. But so I should later I'll apologize to her. So sorry.
Oh, well, all right, as long as you're okay.
Yeah, I mean go
Um,
ask her.
Oh, I think Stong's got that covered.
Yeah, that's
But,
good.
I think okay. If there is anything I can do, just let me know.
Thanks for listening and stuff.
Did want to add one thing. Kalith, where the Slod scratched you, like your
Oh, crap.
wound is still itchy.
He remembered.
yeah.
Yeah.
They just
Like it's a sort of pain that you hadn't experienced before. So it's actually a really interesting experience.
does it feel bad? Like is it getting worse?
Hard to say.
I'll just monitor the situation, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I could if you. I mean, if I see you like if the
Just
wound
like,
are in
just
pain
like,
or
I
something.
guess I'm like checking it out.
Like it seems like you're taking fire, cold, lightning, and acid damage all at the same time.
Very descriptive.
Whoa.
Okay, I think Rogar would notice. I'm sure she'd be like at least wincing, if not
Well, I
like
don't
going.
know.
No.
Might be concealing it. I don't know.
Okay, I'll leave it up to her.
I mean, I don't think she'd conceal it, but she's not going to be like, "Oh, check out this."
Are you sure?
It's like, well, it's like it. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's getting worse. They'll probably go away on its own. It's a flesh wound.
Okay.
You don't need to bother anyone about it.
All right.
They'll
Okay.
be fine, right?
So the whole group gets back together. You're having that conversation, and the reason that we showed the Rogar Artemisia conversation is because that's what you're thinking. When Cecilia and Stone come back, right? It's like little flashbacks. And then Sturge tells you about this cave. So we're now
I'm
back in the
here
present.
for anything that might be a door. Say we go check out the cave.
How does that
Yeah.
seem like a door
Well,
There's an opening and it goes somewhere.
that someone
So.
is living in?
well,
I
maybe
mean,
if they live here, they maybe know something. Sorry.
Sturge, did you see a person or did you just hear a noise?
Steven, I think you're
not
muted.
making any sound. Oh my god! The person in the cave stole his voice! That bastard!
I saw,
Revenge.
I heard the person breathing as if sleeping inside the cave, and their campfire was, modest size. It wasn't huge like you'd expect a giant to sit at. Also, the cave was sort of human sized.
Was the fire burning, or was it a campfire, like remains of a?
It was the remains. We did see smoke earlier. Perhaps that's what was burning.
Listen, I still maintain, like, if someone is here, they knew how to get here. They might know how to get out. And what else are we going to do? Sit on this beach and stare at the clouds?
A cloud looks like. Oh, never mind.
Cecilia's gonna just like kind of start looking for where Sturge climbed up.
The beholder with a party hat on.
Yeah, you
And there's like,
do see this faint trail of smoke rising into the air.
Anybody coming?
Yep.
Yep.
Let's go.
oh, of course I.
Um,
Oh, I'm not.
So I'll lead him over there.
Okay.
so I was gonna like kind of trail, and he'll be in the back of the party.
Okay. You can take kind of easy routes and don't require checks to make it up there. Since the
Probably for
worst
the
thing that could
best.
happen is that you would fall into the astral sea.
You're
and then just
so
float there.
good at those doors and ladders.
I was gonna
Thank
say,
you.
considering our track record with climbing things,
Hey,
That's
everyone
right.
got up my stairs perfectly fine.
that's
didn't they?
true.
True.
Maybe we've broken the curse.
Yeah, your diamond stairs.
The diamond staircase.
I'm just surprised they weren't made of bone. Anyway,
It's
so
not all about necromancy. Mostly.
not yet.
Necromancy and
Yeah.
bling.
Okay. Yeah, you climb up to this cave entrance, and you find a modest fire pit, which is faintly smoking, and a cave entrance.
Go
Do you
in.
smell anything?
Let me just let me just scout here and just
Okay.
see what there is. So I'm gonna sneak up to the edge of the thing and using my, of course, I have this. What are they called? Boots of elven kind,
Uh-huh.
and see what I see. 24.
Nice.
Okay. Inside the cave, you see a bunch of scattered scrolls and tattered old books, and a sword faintly glimmering,
Feel the sword.
leaning
I was like,
against the stone, and like a pot and a bowl, and sitting amongst these things is a figure whose legs are crossed, their arms down on their knees, and they seem to be meditating or in some kind of trance.
Someone, as in someone human, someone elf.
Yes,
This-
a humanoid figure
Elf trance.
covered in a long, sweeping flow of hair.
Like been here forever, hermit on an island.
Yeah.
No, great.
Whoa.
I'll sneak back out and say, looks like a elf hermit, been here forever, meditating. Hello. Just call. Hello.
So, equal possibility he can get us out here, or he's gonna make us listen to it.
Take the sword before you.
You have visitors who do not mean you harm.
No response.
Caleb is gonna hide behind the rock.
You wait.
Are you sure
no
he's
response.
alive? Just go in there and give him a shake.
I'll volunteers to go in if no.
No, I'm going in
Oh,
too.
Well, I'll
Why
go
not?
and see if he needs help or healing.
Okay. You go in there.
Yeah.
You see what I described to Stephen.
Give his shoulder little jiggle.
When you inspect this person closer up, it is indeed an elf, and he looks extremely thin, like emaciated, like ancient.
Hmm.
He's wearing just ragged tatters of clothes, and like his hair is extremely long. Like I said,
We sense any
Who's the-
motion, like breathing.
he is very faintly breathing. Yes.
I
Detect magic.
Okay.
Pop and magic.
Okay. You detect magic, and the sword leaning against the stone starts glowing.
Scrolls.
The scrolls do not.
Are you shopping?
Nah.
He is definitely a shopper.
Yes, yeah.
I'm gonna say, excuse me.
Does detect box
and-
do anything?
You can hear everyone's surface thoughts.
Oh no.
Oh, interesting. Oh, totally interesting.
You can also pick
Rude.
up on a lot of random thoughts that are flowing through the astral plane. It's like tuning a radio, but there are like thousands of different stations.
Mm.
So
Just
it's
for the
hard to
record,
focus.
Caliph is not looking deeply into any other party member's thoughts. It's just like, oh, this is Cecilia. Okay, moving on.
If you focus, you
So-
do find a calm frequency. Like there is one strain of thoughts that is extremely calm and soothing. And you can focus on that. It's not conveying any actual information to you, but you think those might be the thoughts of this person in the cave.
I would like to give them a shake, a little gentle, not
Yep.
rough shake, and say in Elvish, in whatever I assume, I am not an expert on Elvish, but I assume based on what I know about elves and what I can see about elves, that there is an undetermined gender honorific, like saying
Mhm.
sir, ma'am.
No, they have
Captain
an
something?
MX. It's true.
Yes, something along those lines. Respectfully, hello. Can you hear us?
Pretty sure it's Bub. That's
Bub.
the-
In Elvish, where you're not sure of what someone's gender is, you say.
I kind
Bub,
of think that
apparently.
most honorifics and titles in Elvish are gender neutral.
I have no idea.
And just when they're translated into common, and various human languages tend to have more gendered
That's very
terms for
reasonable.
things. So, like, an elf will be fine with you calling him or her lord or lady. It's fine either way.
Okay.
It means
well,
the same thing to them.
I know enough
So,
about Elvish to use the right word.
except for some elves will
Bub.
take it personally because, screw you humans. Anyway, yeah. So this person, there's a long moment passes, and he exhales very deeply. Are you real?
Yes. Are
Any of us
you
real?
real?
Are any of us real?
What
I don't
language
say
are we
that. I don't say
speaking?
that.
Question.
Are we still in Elvish or are we switched to
Yeah,
common?
he's speaking to you in Elvish.
Who are you?
I am a
And can you get us
wanderer, an errant, a knight, a lost champion. I cannot get you out of here.
Are
Ah,
you here by
dang it.
intention or by accident?
Yes,
Did you say yes to that question?
you did.
Oh,
Uh,
oh,
yeah,
he's a
there's a
philosopher.
mystic
No.
saying that in I'm gonna go ahead and say that in Rashemi. I'm not stupid. Okay. So you're a wanderer. Do you have a name, or is it just, Mr. Wanderer?
I
Mixed
do have a
Wanderer?
name.
What?
I do.
Would you like to tell us your name?
No,
Okay. All right. Can we rest in your cave?
I'm still not certain you are real.
What do we have to do to make it clear that we're real? Does it matter if we're real?
No,
Cool. Can we rest in your cave?
of course.
All right. I'm going to relate this to everybody who doesn't speak Elvish, which I don't know how many of you that is. You may have all followed this entire conversation.
I do not.
Did you say,
No.
Caleb, you do?
No,
You're
that was
speaking
a
a
yes.
surprisingly
I thought
modern
that you were
version
saying you
of
did, and I was
Elvish.
like, what?
He was
Did you have
speaking
it
a
erased from your
surprisingly
brain?
modern version of Elvish.
good to know.
Probably maybe
so
a little
curious.
bit before your time, but not like
Not like
like an
ancient.
ancient version.
It's not
of
like, did you know that that it's explicitly canon that Draconic changes so slowly? It's exactly this ancient Draconic is exactly the same as modern Draconic. Fun
Elvish. A
fact.
lot of dragons were still alive today
Probably.
when ancient Draconic was spoken.
That's not true of time
1200 years ago.
Draconic. That's fact now.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so he doesn't know if we're real. He seems to be some sort of mystic or something. He says he can't get us out of here, but we can rest in his cave.
Maybe he can't get us out of here, but he knows what's required to return to Toriel.
No, he can try. He doesn't seem to be.
He looks up.
entirely-
He says, Oral. Yes. I have known that world.
You know where the door is?
There are many doors.
You know where a door is?
Whoa.
The nearest
Tutorial?
door?
You wish to go to this world. Is this
Yes.
the world of your birth?
Uh,
Aye.
Yes.
we wish to find something on this plane before we go back to our world.
So
Is
his
that where the
eyes
house
are
is?
closed, but he is looking up as though, you've interested him.
I tell him the story about how Briar House got teleported to a different dimension, and we believe it is this one.
He listens and nods. He says, this description does not fit with the Astral Sea. This is a place of peace that has no mysteries. The place you are searching for is the opposite and the same in many ways.
You know
Another
how to-
border dimension,
You know how to
place
get
of
there, don't you?
ghosts and shadows.
Oh, that's
Cool.
not good. How do we get there?
There are portals that you can take there.
Can you point us to a specific portal?
That will get us there.
And do you require any healing, my friend?
Healing.
Mhm.
What do you mean?
As in a restoration of health and strength and vigor.
Ah, what a miracle such a thing would be.
It is a miracle, for it comes from my goddess Sharindlar, who is the greatest goddess of all. Would you like to hear about her?
I'm gonna go for another walk, I think, maybe.
No. I have met this goddess Sharindlar.
What?
What?
Whoa. Have
When
we?
you are blessed among the place.
I mean, have we asked this
If you
person
will.
their name or
I
Yeah,
tried.
And he said he didn't want to get it.
origin?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're
It's like, I don't want to get into that.
I don't want to get into that.
Oh,
Because you are a priest of the dwarven pantheon, is it?
Aye, Sharindlar.
How interesting that you have come to this place.
Why is it interesting?
You do not know.
No, that's
You
why I
were
asked.
not far enough away from this island to see it on your approach.
See what?
This is no mere island. He lifts up one hand and he says, this is a long deceased deity, the corpse of a god
awesome.
who died many, many, many centuries and millennia ago, and died anew only 1 century ago.
What god would that be?
I shall leave you this mystery.
Oh,
Do you
thank
live
you.
on a dead god?
I have meditated here for a time. I think my time might be passing,
Did
and
you?
I should go.
Will you tell us the way to the portal to the place where our house is?
Yes. If you will sit with me this night, I shall tell you what you need to know.
Like sit vigil?
Yes, if you will.
That mean we can't fall asleep? Just checking.
Sleep. Yes, if you must.
I don't know if we actually have any need of sleep on this plane, but I do know that Cecilia knows if she sits still for too long, she may very well fall asleep, especially with this guy.
Stong would really love a long rest.
Yeah.
Short rest is not going to cut it.
And I can tell you all about Sharindlar.
Stay here in my cave and you shall rest safely. Do
Thank
not
you.
touch my sword. He points
Sturge
to
is
the sword.
definitely.
I look at
Sorry.
Sturge.
We all look at Sturge.
For if you touch that sword, only doom shall befall you, as it has befallen me.
George,
Yeah.
did you already touch it?
It's like he's already just like caressing it. Like when we look.
He's like,
Oh,
I know where I'm
just-
sleeping tonight.
Yeah.
It was just the mage hand, okay?
Oh my god.
How did this sword doom you? May I ask?
You may certainly ask, but it would take me too long to recite the answer. Your
Just
lives are so brief by comparison.
Does this sword have a name?
Kiddo.
Hey,
It does.
Can we know that much?
Perhaps. And then he just kind of goes back into his meditative state.
Sturge definitely pockets a piece of this god.
like a rock from the ground.
Artemisia's
Got
definitely
one god
like
in my pocket.
looking at the ground and like picking up her feet and then like looking at the ground again. Like still looks like rock.
It's like it's not coming off on my shoes, so that's
Yeah.
good.
Can I make some sort of check to try to discern which god?
Sure.
What kind of check?
Religion check.
Religion. Okay.
I don't know why that's funny.
Oh, my roll is funny. 7 plus a
Oh.
3.
You-
Yes.
No idea.
Sturge is just,
Mm,
he study this stone he picked up. He's got a 15.
I got a 17 on religion check.
Listen to it.
Okay. Stirs, nothing is really interesting about the stone. It doesn't do anything odd. Rogar, when with your check, you realize that you know that a century ago, many of the dwarven deities died in a great cataclysm. But based on your upbringing and education, all those deities have returned to life. So you don't know what dead god you'd be floating in.
Okay.
I mean, he could have been talking about a dwarven deity from a different world. You don't really know.
Did he specify it was a dwarven deity?
He
He heavily implied
He
it.
implied it.
kind of
Okay.
implied it. He didn't really say that directly.
Interesting. All
I
right.
don't think he said that directly. It was kind of hard to follow.
I felt like he implied it.
Yeah, he definitely implied it.
Okay. And I'm gonna if we're gonna be settling in, I'm gonna cast a guardian of faith on the card, just standing protecting just outside the cave entrance.
Okay, that's cool. Do any of you others do any preparations? You take your raster.
Would like to sit down next to the song and say, by the way, I'm sorry that happened to you. Because she has calmed down enough to realize that he told her something rather vulnerable and she kind of blew past it. That wasn't cool.
He thank you for kind of like points. He kind of like shifts so that you could see like the hints of some other ones. Says, it was a long journey from Bormir Swamp to Lork where I first met you. So I've witnessed many things and experienced terrible things. I think that this destination, he like looks at the rest of the Westgate Irregulars. Don't feel quite alone anymore. So thank you.
That feels like I should pat you, but you're not here. So
He pulls out the bone flute that I think Cecilia gifted him like a while ago, and he says, "This was the first gift I ever received. I've been practicing with it secretly. So let me see if anything he tries to perform with it. See how good." Oh, 14. Okay.
It's quite decent.
So what kind of sound does this bone flute make?
I don't know. What kind of sound does the bone flute make?
who are you asking?
Either of you.
Oh.
Whoever wants to answer.
Like a recorder.
like an
That's not
elementary school recorder.
I'm just the DM. I don't need to make all the decisions.
I have a friend who's a professional recorder player, which is bananas.
That's a thing?
Thing. It's
So-
beautiful if you know what you're doing.
I guess
If
it
you're a
would be.
third grader, it's definitely not beautiful.
You settle down for extended rest in this cave.
Yeah.
Artemisia like keeps looking at Cecilia, but not actually like going over to her.
Oh,
I'm not
Rogar,
going
nice.
over.
Okay. It is very peaceful. You are filled with a certain lassitude that just kind of Makes you restful and calm. And eventually, even if you're trying to stay awake, you will eventually fall asleep.
Okay. I would like to say that the sound of the bone flute sounds like the lone, mournful howling of maybe like some sort of predator type creature, like maybe a bear.
That's spooky.
I'm
into it.
Song plays you Stairway to Heaven.
In bear howls.
Mournful howling of a bear on
This
the
is very
bone
on
flute.
brand.
I'm not sure if I'm playing this right, but
Yeah, the guy at the shop didn't explain it. When
One
I
of
stole it
you
from his pocket.
starts awake in the morning. Who would like to do this?
Go for it.
Yeah, I can roll for it. Here we go. Okay, I got Rogar. Rogar, you start awake in the morning.
Seems reasonable. We're sleeping on your god.
Yeah,
Maybe
your guardian of faith is starting to fade away, because indicating that it's been about 8 hours, because that's how long it lasts.
Dwarven Paladin who looks like Dwayne Johnson, but you know.
The rest of the group is all lying kind of scattered around the cave. Some of you are leaning against rocks. Maybe Sturge is like real close to that sword. A couple things you notice. One is that the elderly elf is not here anymore.
Right.
2, the sword is still there. 3, it's slightly darker outside than it was before. So you head out. You don't really want to wake up everyone else. This is the epilogue of this particular session. And you walk past Dwayne the Rock Dwarf Paladin. And and you look out and you see something beside the island that makes your eyes widen. And the others, you either wake them up or they wake up and they start kind of groggily coming out and looking. And you see that beside the island is a massive, sleek, silver ship.
Giduk.
And there are figures moving around on the top of that ship, looking down at you.
How big is this ship?
Massive, like a warship,
Like 100 feet? 200 feet?
like 200 feet.
Holy crap.
It's real big. And that is all the time we have for tonight. So
Bum.
thank you for joining us on the game tonight. I've been Eric DeB, your DM for this campaign. I wanted to give a brief shout out to my mother. It is her birthday.
Yay!
Oh,
Hey.
happy birthday, Mama
Have-
DeB.
Good job, Eric's mom.
I haven't called her yet, unfortunately. I've been too busy all day, but I plan to do that now. So thanks for putting up with me for so long, Mom, letting me play D&D at your dining room table, in which we had 2 rules. 1, which was watch the language, and 2, which was be polite to the female characters. And one of those rules fucking stuck. Take it away, Aaron.
I've been Erin M. Evans. Check out our sponsors, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realm, idlechampions.com.
I've been Rhiannon Held, and I'd like to thank our moderators. Tonight, I believe it was Shay and Seldering, and anyone else that I missed because of the change in venue.
I'm Yang Yang Wang. Yeah, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. And for coming over to YouTube from Twitch. It's for a very good cause.
Thank you.
Say your name again, Emily.
Oh. That was okay.
Never mind.
That's Emily Tang.
Did I
She
miss
works
that
at Wizards.
part?
Her thoughts and opinions have not represented anything those of Wizards.
Thank you for watching. I persist in being Stephen Merlino. And thank you to Yang Yang for working all the tech wizardry on this stuff. He made this happen.
I love like you said that like we've been trying to make you stop.
Don't be so Steven.
Just keep being
And,
Steven. It's wonderful.
yeah. And I'm Randy Henderson, the adventure continues over on our website, www.dungeonscrawlers.com, where you can find info on the characters, players, a lot of cool bonus materials, etc. And so until next week, stay scrawly.